One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. I think I was a little too hot in the head. Here we go. Here we go. We just right. Welcome to At Random WYAC, Pontiac WYAC. If you want to be on and share, it's all good. Hold on one second. Let me hit the volume down a little bit. One, two, one, two, one, two. That's better. Put me up in the headphones. Yes, so tonight I wanted to go ahead and bring to you At Random. Thank you for joining At Random Pontiac WYAC. Like I told you, we're going to be doing it at random sometimes, some days, how I feel like it. But I really thought with the political season heating up and it being as direct and crazy as it's about to really get in the next couple of days, I thought that, it's an important thing that we just go ahead and come. Or that I came and just go ahead and talk about what's going on right now. You know what I mean? So if you would like to join in, feel free. Shout out to everybody through the Facebook, YouTube, and I ain't gonna say Instagram. I'm thinking about bringing Twitter into the fold because Twitter has, a lot of great things that I'm looking for trying to move forward doing this. So right now we're just on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So I'm gonna go ahead and share it again, and I'm gonna share it to a group before we go ahead and start here. I'm part of this podcast group, so I like to do that. Send it to that group. Let me see here. Be patient with me. Here we go. The Black Podcast Network. I'm gonna share it to that. And Podcast World, I'll share to that. So, make sure my permissions are up right. So we good. Let me go ahead and hit the share button once more. Boom. All right. So we here. So yeah, man. I wanted to talk about, with the climate heating up, and I just thought and I know that it's very important, you know what I mean, to be able to go ahead and just have a forum where you're just talking about these type of things and not be afraid of it. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm gonna be straight up honest. I'm gonna call it from the way that I see it happening. I'm gonna call it from the way that I see things going right now. And I'm just going to call it down the middle how I see it. If I was just an undecided voter looking at how things are going right now, looking at everything, how it's going right now, is one candidate pushing me to the side and one pushing me to the other side? What am I looking for in either two of these candidates? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, one or two of them going to be, the president, right? But I'm going to be straight up, y'all. You might not like it. Kamala's losing. She's losing, and she's on the verge of losing. You know what I mean? I really think that the interview that she did with Fox didn't help her at all. You know what I mean? And it kind of they had some type of reviews with Democratic people or voters, and they asked them how did they feel about her performance. They asked them, how do you feel that she performed in this Fox interview? And they weren't, put it like this, they wasn't feeling good about their chances after hearing her. Just seeing how she talks, not being able to answer the question. Now, if I was an undecided voter and I'm just looking at things straight down the middle, how would I feel? I'd have felt like there wasn't any hope for her to win. Because quite honestly, there wasn't any clarity in what she was talking about. Yes, I know a lot. She's running against her opponent and she's going to bring him up and talk about him, but she never was really clear about any of the policies that she was going to bring to the forefront of what she's trying to do. And so I think that's what a lot of people was looking for. Even I was looking for it. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be open-minded. Or, I just wanted to hear what she had to say. You know what I mean? And quite honest, I didn't see anything or hear anything that was compelling to me about anything that she was talking or saying. At this moment, I think the campaign is in a free for all, as far as her chances. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? It's not been a good 2 weeks for her, as far as going on podcasts, TV shows. It hasn't been a good run with her going on news factors or the news sources. And I'm being quite honest, just looking from a non-biased perspective, the campaign from a perspective and a numbers perspective, the campaign for Kamala is failing. You know what I mean? Because even Democratic voters are looking at this, that, they're not really getting the answers. And I don't know if it's really a thing of him beating her. I think it's just that she didn't do herself a great good favor about what she did going on a lot of these TV shows or these platforms. You know what I'm saying? So, we're gonna go ahead and review and just play a little bit of what the interview was yesterday, because I was sitting at the office and I was really just sitting back listening to everything, and I'm trying to really listen. I'm just trying to listen, want to listen, and trying to figure and find out if there's anything that she's saying that I'm gonna feel. And quite honestly, there wasn't anything that she was able to convey to me that made me feel positive about her campaign. I tried, and I've been on the regular show, Pontiac WYAC, and of course we got some staunch supporters of her, but I listened with open ears, and really for the last month and a half, ever since she's became the candidate, I've listened to wait and see if I heard anything from her, and I haven't. And I'm really trying, y'all. Like, and I'm not trying to just talk like I ain't, So, in a nutshell, let's go into it. I'm gonna give my commentary on it, and we just go from there, y'all. We go from there. Again, if you want to call in, you can call in. If you would like to chime in, as far as get the link, chime in, you're more than welcome to do that. But we're gonna go ahead and play some of this at this moment.
The decision to terminate Remain in Mexico at the beginning of your administration.
At the beginning of our administration, within practically hours of taking the oath, the first bill that we offered Congress, before we worked on infrastructure, before the Inflation Reduction Act, before the CHIPS and Science Act, American people.
Now remember what the question was. Let's go back and listen to his question. Let's see if she answers the question, just with an unbiased mind. Let's look at this and look at the campaign, because we've drawn too close to just be voting off of emotion or thinking. Let's just think rationally about what she's saying, what the question that was posed, and how she answers it. So let's go back and I'm gonna listen to the question. Let's go.
Responding to the point you're raising, okay. And I'd love taking the
5% of apprehensions.
I'm not finished, because I agree with you. It is a topic.
Specifically,
so immigration is the question. Let's hear it.
The influx of illegal immigrants from more than 150 countries. How many illegal immigrants would you estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years?
Well, I'm glad you raised the issue of immigration, because I agree with you. It is a topic of discussion that people want to rightly have. And you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right
do you,
now,
just a number, do you think it's 1 million, 3 million?
Brett, let's just get to the point, okay? The point is that we have a broken immigration system that needs to be repaired.
So your Homeland Security Secretary said that 85% of apprehensions.
I'm not finished. We have an
it's a rough estimate of 6 million people have been released into the country. And let me just finish. I'll get to the question. I promise you.
I was beginning to answer.
And when you came in,
as you see, she wasn't getting ready to answer. Now I'm being unbiased. I'm trying to sit here and listen to her, but I sat here and listened to this live yesterday at the office, and I'm sitting here, and he asked that question where he posed the first part of that question, brought it out to her, and she just started to ramble. She rambled for like a minute and 30, almost a minute, full minute, before he had to stop her and get to the second part of the question. But it seems that's what she does a lot of. So let's go ahead.
Into office, your administration immediately reversed a number of Trump border policies. Most significantly, the policy that required illegal immigrants to be detained through deportation, either in the U.S. or in Mexico. And you switched that policy. They were released from custody awaiting trial. So instead, included in those were a large number of single men, adult men, who went on to commit heinous crimes. So, looking back, do you regret the decision to terminate Remain in Mexico at the beginning of your administration?
At the beginning of our administration, within practically hours of taking the oath, the first bill that we offered Congress, before we worked on infrastructure, before the Inflation Reduction Act, before the Chips and Science Act, before the bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the first bill, practically within hours of taking the oath, was a bill to fix our immigration system.
Yes, ma'am. It was called the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021.
Exactly.
It was essentially a pathway to citizenship for the... Yes, ma'am.
May I finish responding, please?
But
you have to let me finish,
You
please.
had the White House and the House and the Senate,
I'm
and they didn't bring up that bill.
I'm in the middle of responding to the point you're raising.
Okay.
All right, this is when I kind of start to get frustrated with her. You know what I mean? She's not answering the question. She's not getting around to answering the question. You know what I mean? It's like they figure, or she figures, that ultimately we kind of dumb or stupid. It doesn't take that long to answer a question on a number or a specific. You know what I'm saying? So she kept, and that seems to be the underlying theme of, what's going on when she gets to these interviews. I don't think, like I said, I really don't think this gave her a leg up. So let's go.
And I'd like to finish.
Yes, ma'am.
Our fry cook robot Flippy has sold out in just 7 days. Hi.
We recognized from day one that, to the point of this being your first question, it is a priority for us as a nation and for the American people. And our focus has been on fixing a problem. And from day one, then, we have done a number of things, including to address our asylum system and put more resources, getting more judges, what we needed to do to tighten up penalties and increase penalties for illegal crossings, what we needed to do to deal with points of entry between border.
Still not answering the question.
That's the work we did, and we worked on supporting what was a bipartisan effort, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, to actually strengthen the border. That border bill would have put 1,500 more border agents at the border, which is why I believe the border...
See, this is the frustration. As a voter, for real, a lot of these on the border voters, on the people that's maybe on the teeter-tot, that these not people that needs to be political scientists, you know what I mean, or people that need to be rocket scientists. I mean, just the basic question and getting a basic answer. She never does that, and this did not help her yesterday. This really kind of buried her, in my opinion.
Patrol agents supported the bill. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States, which is a scourge affecting people of every background, every geographic location in our country, killing people. It would have allowed us to put more resources into prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, which I have done as the Attorney General, former Attorney General of a border state.
Madam Vice President, a couple of things.
Prosecuted trafficking of drugs, guns, and human beings. And Donald Trump, but let me just finish.
6 Democrats voted against that bill.
Learned about that bill and told...
All right, like she still ain't answering the question. Do you understand? This is the frustration. She's going on a whole bunch of nothing about the influx of immigration. You know what I'm saying? That's a hot topic. That's a big topic. It's a real topic, and she can't answer the question. That's what I'm saying. She is ruining her chances. And the Democratic Party knows that she's ruining her chances. This was a bad interview for her to go do. I know the Democratic Party is I know the Democratic Party right now fires the election of a Democratic president is on the wall right now, because they wouldn't even told her to really do that. This was a bad look for her. She shouldn't have did it. She shouldn't have went on Fox News, because going on Fox News actually exposed her, and especially for people that was on the wall. A lot of Democrats, after polling after this, she plummeted, y'all. She plummeted. And if you like it or not, you know what I'm saying? Let's get away from the emotion of it. She is plummeting because she cannot answer common sense 1, 2, 3 questions without going in circles. And that's the problem. It's like, if you're a voter and you really down the line between these two candidates, you don't know who to vote for, but you sit back and you're really trying to find out who to vote for and you listen to her. Are you getting some clarity? Let's listen.
Told them to kill it because he preferred to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And in this election, this is rightly a discussion that the American people want to have. And what they want are solutions, and they want a president of the United States who's not playing political games with the issue,
I hear you,
but actually is focused on fixing it.
6 Democrats voted against that bill. It would have allowed 1.8 million illegal immigrants into the country a year. A lot of conservatives had a problem with it. These are the 6 Democrats.
So illegal immigration.
But more importantly, back to the original premise, Jocelyn Nungary, Rachel Morin, Laken Riley, they are young women who were brutally assaulted and killed by some of the men who were released.
So let's get back to it. Illegal immigration is a big topic. And a lot of people you have to really look at, when did it happen? When did illegal immigration, or when did the illegal immigration become a huge problem? You know what I'm saying? And I think what people are forgetting in thinking off of emotion is that the illegal immigration problem happened in this administration. And I understand that Kamala want to distance herself from this administration, but she can't do it. And I think going on Fox kind of exposed her with that. But here's the thing. She's been on this last 2 weeks with Kamala on TV has been not good, y'all. I'm just going to call it how it is, not because I'm one way or the other. It's just looking at it. She has not given no straightforward answers. We have had Obama telling black men basically how to vote, and telling people how to vote. She has basically been on The View, different places, and saying that she was a part of every major decision that the president made. So people are starting to look at it like, well, if you're part of every major decision and we're in a bad state as far as the economy, geopolitical as far as foreign affairs, immigration, then you are the problem. This is what people are saying. This is not what Sante is saying. This is not what, you know what I mean? The numbers are showing that. And I think when she went on this, I really think when she went on to this on Fox, I think it was a bad idea for her. And I really feel like the numbers were slipping because she felt like she had to go ahead and do it. Let me go ahead and read a comment. Nakia, hey, happy anniversary. Spoke to you earlier. She held her own. She did good. You describing Trump. Nah, she didn't do. I mean, I know that's your opinion. I can't say that from your opinion that she didn't do good. I'm just going to tell you from the overall consensus, even from Democratic voters or people that was on the fence, they don't feel like she did too good because she didn't answer any questions really at all. Like with that simple question with the immigration number, she pointed everything back to Trump. And I think that was the downfall of this. Like, I think this was the downfall of that interview. She kept pointing to Trump, but we got to remember over the last 4 years, 3.5, 4 years, Trump has not been the president or the VP. She has been with the president and the VP. And in the very beginning of the administration, the House or the Senate, from my understanding, was ran by the Democratic Party. So it's like, you know, how is things as they are? And that's what the interviewer, I think, is trying to ask her. How did it turn into this? How did things turn into how they are as far as the state of the economy and world affairs? How did they turn into this if you guys were in control and you were part of all the major decisions that, you know, the president made? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what people are getting with and at this conversation piece. Again, I don't think that this helped her at all. I don't think Obama helped her at all, because also there's a point that I want to bring up too. The black vote for the Democrats have been going down since basically the Obama era. It just hasn't started now with Kamala running. And I think that was one misconception, because I thought that. But I guess numbers have came out and they showed, not just Fox News, but I'm talking about other news sources, CNN, NBC, MSNBC, ABC, polls, and Wall Street Journal. It's showing that, the black vote has receded for support of the Democratic Party, men and women, black voters, since Obama. So I think now what's kind of happening, we at a crossroads, and I got a theory in my mind what I really feel what's happening with the immigrants, and why the immigrants have been given asylum here, basically. And I think it's to replace the black vote, not for this term, but for the next term, for whoever runs for president next term, or she runs for president next term. Then those illegals will be fast-tracked into citizenship, and they will be able to vote, because they already see that the black vote is receding. The black vote is receding in big numbers, and the Democratic stronghold for black vote is diminishing. And they feel like, okay, let's get and replace this vote. And they're going to have a reason to want to go ahead and vote Democratic, because they get a benefit. They get benefits. So that's my theory, but that's not a lone theory. But at the end of the day, what's the other reason for having all these illegal immigrants coming here the illegal way? You know what I mean? To catch and release and bring them in and give them all these benefits. What's the big reason for that? Why would you do that? Any country, anybody would be overrun by something like that. Nobody's happy about that, Democratic or Republican. Get here and come here to do things the right way, just like all of us have to do. We all got to go get our driver's license. We all got to go to the DMV. It's rules to the game. But just bringing illegal immigrants over here, or allowing that, or letting people come, not just from Mexico and El Salvador and places from South America, but people are coming from Sudan, Ghana, China. People are just coming anyway. They're going into South America and then coming up. So it's people from all over the world coming up illegally and getting benefits that American citizens can get. You know what I'm saying? So I really think that what is the rhyme and reason behind having somebody come into the country like this illegal in droves? You know what I mean? And since she was part of that administration, I think a lot of people wanted to get some answers. A lot of people wanted to get answers for that, and they didn't get it yesterday. People thought that she was going to kind of provide an answer or provide answers for those types of things, and they didn't provide answers for those things. Illegal immigrants started back when they took us from our homeland. I don't think that was kidnapping. That was kidnapping. What happened to us as a people? We not immigrants. We was more or less kidnapped. And took as property. These people are illegal, 100%. So what happened to us is no comparison what's happening. We came here against our will. They came coming, but illegally, you know what I mean? Not documented or nothing. So let's get back to it.
At the beginning of the administration, well before a negotiated bipartisan bill, former President Clinton actually referred to Laken Riley Sunday campaigning for you in Georgia, saying if those men had been properly vetted, Laken Riley probably would not have been killed. So if it wouldn't have happened, this is well before any negotiation. This is well before Donald Trump got involved in the politics. This is a specific policy decision by your administration to release these men into the country. So what I'm saying to you, do you owe
Brett,
those families an apology?
Let me just say, first of all, those are tragic cases. There's no question about that. There is no question about that. And I can't imagine the pain that the families of those victims have experienced for a loss that should not have occurred. So that is true. It is also true that if a border security had actually been passed 9 months ago, it would be 9 months.
All right. And see, this is where she's doing the running around again. I'm just pointing out stuff that is actually hurting her. This is not me saying I want her to lose or win, or him to win or lose. I am saying things that are from a perspective of a voter that's really trying to come from a non-biased standpoint and just dissect and look at her interview. Because I'm going to do the same thing with his probably in the next couple of days. But as far as her interview, I'm looking at this and I'm like, she's blaming this man for something that he ain't even do.
That we would have had more border agents at the border, more support for the folks who are working around the clock trying to hold it all together.
Madam Vice President.
To ensure that no future harm would occur. And this election in 20 days will determine whether we have a president of the United States who actually cares more about fixing a problem, even if it is not to their political advantage.
All right. So basically, in a nutshell, for those that were trying to listen to this, it's just basically she's saying that they tried to pass a bill some months back that would give the border security 1,500 more personnel at the border. That would have stemmed the influx of more immigrants coming in or them being vetted. And she says this is a problem because Democrats and Republicans feel the same way, but Democrats' sentiment after this interview yesterday was that how can you blame him for the influx of the immigration? How can you blame him for that when this is happening in your administration? She's saying that he influenced Democrats, or he influenced people to vote that bill down so he can run on a problem. You can't blame the guy for that. You can't blame this man. He wasn't even in power. He's not the president. He's not the vice president. He's not a senator, congressman, or anything. How can you blame? How can you place blame on somebody that's not even an elected official? Those Democrats or those Republicans voted how they voted for that bill. You can't blame. But let's talk about the problem before. You basically tore down, or you and Joe Biden, I'm just looking at it as a person that knows a little bit about what's going on. You tore down the infrastructure that would have kept the illegal immigration, to it wouldn't have been like how it is. So you can't blame. You see what I'm saying? So that's the frustration that people, and I really wanted her to answer that in a better way. That's why I'm saying I don't really feel like this did not help her yesterday. This did not help her at all. I'm going to open up the phone line so anybody want to call, they can call, but this did not help her at all yesterday. And it's reflecting by the numbers. It's reflecting by the numbers that this detrimentally hurt her a lot. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't a good move for her. And that's why they cut the interview short. So let's listen.
In an election, because there was a solution, Brett.
Madam Vice President, it was a policy decision in the early part of your administration. I will let one of the mothers talk about it. Take a listen.
Because of the Biden-Harris administration open border policies catch and release, they were enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program. This meant that they were released into the United States. It was not even a full 3 weeks later that they would take my daughter, Jocelyn Nungare's life. I believe the Biden-Harris administration open border policies are responsible for the death of my daughter.
That's the early days. So do you owe them an apology is what I'm saying.
I will tell you that I am so sorry for her loss.
My husband and I are going through IVF treatments now, but Donald Trump's plan could ban IVF in some states. My husband is in the military. What if we end up in a state where IVF is no longer legal? What will we do then?
All right. We're going to wait for that to go ahead and go past, but I want to make sure we can not get banned off of here. All right.
But let's talk about what is happening right now with an individual who does not want to participate in solutions. Let's talk about that as well.
But do you want to answer
in
her?
all fairness, I told you, I feel awful for what she and her family have experienced.
During that time, you said repeatedly that the border was secure. When in your mind did it start becoming a crisis?
I think we've had a broken immigration system transcending, by the way, Donald Trump's administration, even before. Let's all be honest about that. I have no pride in saying that this is a perfect immigration system. I've been clear, I think we all are, that it needs to be fixed. We need more. I was just down at the border talking with border agents, and they will tell you, and I'm sure you probably, I know you investigate and you are a serious journalist. They will tell you, we need more judges. We need to process those cases faster. We need the support for those cases that should be prosecuted. They need more resources, and Congress ultimately is the only place that's going to get fixed, Brett.
Well,
that's how this system works.
That's the premise of this question. There were 90-plus executive orders that were rescinded in the first days. Many of those were Trump border policies. I'm not going to stay here because there's other things to talk about, but you frequently talk to the Border Patrol Union for support of that bipartisan bill, and they did. They supported it. But they also just endorsed Donald Trump and said, you've been, quote, a failure with border security. Why do you think they said that?
I think they're frustrated, and I get it. They want support. They want support, and that's what that border security bill would have done. These guys down at the border, these men and women, they're working hard. They're working.
You see, so the border. let me keep going. Let me keep going.
Working around the clock. I get it.
There's a lot of people that look back at what you said in 2019 when you first ran for president. And there have been changes, and you've talked about some of them. When it comes to immigration, you supported allowing immigrants in the country illegally to apply for driver's license, to qualify for free tuition at universities, to be enrolled in free health care. Do you still support those things?
Listen, that was 5 years ago, and I'm very clear that I will follow the law. I have made that statement over and over again, and as Vice President of the United States, that's exactly what I've done, not to mention before.
That didn't help her. That didn't help her. So that basically just told you. So if anybody was going to go listening to her, this is why this wasn't a good idea for her to go on Fox. I'm gonna be straight up with you, because she just answered the question. Hold on one second. Hold on one second here. I want to make sure I'm not buffering here. Boom. All right. So, hold on one second here. Let me fix something here. That should help. All right, bet. All right. So basically, in a nutshell, if you was coming to listen to her and not knowing who to vote for, and her just saying that alone, or him letting people know that alone, that she was basically, those were her decisions 4 or 5 years ago of supporting open borders, that was her policy. And if that was your decision for listening to the interview alone and trying to get that answer, she basically said that answer, and that cost her votes yesterday. It did. Because I was really, like, again, I was really listening to this interview, trying to find, the reasoning to support. You know what I mean? So let's keep going, man.
If that's the case, you chose a running mate, Tim Walz, who governor of Minnesota, who signed those very things into state law. So do you support that?
We are very clear, and I am very clear, as is Tim Walz, that we must support and enforce federal law, and that is exactly what we will do.
So decriminalizing border crossings, like you said in 2019.
I do not believe in decriminalizing border crossings, and I've not done that as vice president. I will not do that as president.
So these are evolutions that you've had.
But let's be very clear. I'm the only person who's running for president who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations, from the Sinaloa cartel to the Guadalajara cartel to people who have trafficked in guns, drugs, and human beings. I have spent a significant part of my career going after people who present a threat to the safety of the American people and cross our border with the intent of doing us harm and cross our border illegally. And I will do that work as vice president. I take that work quite seriously.
This is a time when voters, especially here in Pennsylvania, are inundated with commercials and ads. They just want it to stop.
Let's watch.
Because it's every commercial. But many of them add noise, but a few of them seem to break through. This particular one from the...
So let's listen to this. And if you could give me your feedback, let's watch. Let's listen. If you would like to call in, please call in. I just put the number up. But let's go ahead and listen and watch and see if this was some type of clarity for those that are on the fence about that.
Trump campaign has gotten a lot of attention.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
So are you still in support of using taxpayer dollars to help prison inmates or detained illegal aliens to transition to another gender?
I will follow the law, and it's a law that Donald Trump actually followed. You're probably familiar with, now it's a public report, that under Donald Trump's administration, these surgeries were available on a medical necessity basis to people in the federal prison system. And I think, frankly, that ad from the Trump campaign is a little bit of like throwing, stones when you're living in a glass house.
The Trump aides say that he never advocated for that prison policy and no gender transition surgeries happened during his presidency.
Well, you know what? You got to take responsible for what happened in your administration.
Yeah, no surgeries happened in
Okay, she just said you have to take responsible for what happened in your administration. If you're a thinking person and you listen to that, then that kind of goes back to the very beginning of this. You know what I mean? Like, we breathe and thinking people at the end of the day. And, for some reason, I really just think that sometimes people or politicians feel like they can just say anything and we forget, especially as black people. I'm gonna be honest with you, because a lot of politicians, for real, think that we're dumb. Think that we don't research, think that we don't think. They think that we are monolith, or they think that we all just voting in a set, which we usually and have always done. But, every now and again, there's people that got minds of their own. You know what I'm saying? And there's people that can think on their own, outside of the group, quote unquote, and see if things sound right. And again, I keep going back and I'm trying to find a reason to believe that her doing this interview actually helped her. It didn't. It didn't help her because, again, it's like it's a contradiction. Like with her just saying that you have to take responsibility, what happens? Hey, yo, is she looking at the state of the country? Period. She was a part of the administration of why we're here today. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not hammering. I don't want people to think, and I don't care if you could think that, but I'm not hammering her like that. But I'm just saying, look at the state of everything, how things are. You know what I'm saying? In your world, are things better off or worse? Ultimately, for people that you know, people you don't know, are you happy with the way things are going? And I got to look at things in a real way. You know what I mean? I just can't go off of emotion. I don't care that she's a lady. For real, for real. I'm thinking overall, how things going to affect my wallet. I'm thinking how things going to affect my children, which I got 2 boys that are war age. You know what I'm saying? And our standing in the world geopolitically, with them even a couple of months ago, and I just brought this up and was talking how we, if you notice, they start send the selective services start pulling out, if you wasn't registered, far as for the armed services, you know what I'm saying? How you got to do it in X, Y, and penalties. Like, it's like we in a real hectic time right now. And do we really want somebody in this mug that's, you know, shaky like that? I don't really know if she really helped herself. And she didn't instill confidence in those voters. Because I'm going to show you the numbers. I'm going to show you the numbers of where they are and how they kind of affected yesterday. And the same thing that I'm doing to her, I'm going to do one for him this weekend. You know what I mean? And break down and break down some things too. But yeah, let's keep going.
This presidency.
It's in
so
black and white.
would you still advocate for using taxpayer dollars for gender reassignment
I will
surgeries?
follow the law, just as I think Donald Trump would say he did.
You would have a say as president.
Like I said, I think he spent $20 million on those ads, trying to create a sense of fear in the voters because he actually has no plan in this election that is about focusing on the needs of the American people. Whereas, at $20 million on that ad, on an issue that, as it relates to the biggest issues that affect the American people, it's really quite remote. And again, his policy was no different. Look at where we are, though.
They say
on plans for the American people, I'm offering a plan to deal with affordable housing. I'm offering a plan to deal with what we need to do to strengthen small businesses, which are the backbone of America's economy. I am offering a plan that is about taking care of young parents and giving them the support they need. My plans for the economy will strengthen the economy, as have been reviewed by 16 Nobel laureates, Goldman Sachs, Moody's, and recently the Wall Street Journal, which have all studied our plans and have indicated my plans for our economy would strengthen our economy, his would make them weaker, would ignite inflation and invite a recession by the middle of next year. Those are the facts.
Why do you think more people say they trust him on the economy than they trust you?
I think that when you look at an analysis of our plans for what we would do as President of the United States, it has been clear to those who study and understand how economic policy works that moving forward, because I do believe the American people are ready to turn the page on the divisiveness and the type of rhetoric that has come out of Donald Trump. People are ready to chart a new way forward, and they want a president who has a plan for the future and a plan that is sound and will strengthen our country. My plan for the economy does exactly that. His plan would be, again, to give tax cuts to billionaires and the biggest corporations in our country and blow up our deficit.
It's interesting you said turn the page, Madam Vice President. You were asked on 2 different shows last week what, if anything, you would do differently.
All right, this is a good question. If you're listening, listen to this. I think this is another question where she put her foot in her mouth with this, y'all. Straight up, she did. So let's go ahead and listen to this.
Tax cuts to billionaires and the biggest corporations in our country and blow up our deficit.
It's interesting you said turn the page, Madam Vice President. You were asked on 2 different shows last week what, if anything, you would do differently than President Biden. Here's what you said.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Under a Harris administration, what would the major changes be, and what would stay the same?
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden.
I noticed.
And so that would be one change in terms of... But also, I think it's important to say with, 28 days to go, I'm not Donald Trump.
I'm working harder than ever to provide for my family. But here's what Kamalaharris thought my money should go to. Job training.
All right, so we got a little commercial coming on. A second here. So, in a nutshell, she basically just said,
will not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency. And like every new president that comes in to office, I will bring my life experiences, my professional experiences, and fresh and new ideas. I represent a new generation of leadership. I, for example, am someone who has not spent the majority of my career in Washington, D.C. I invite ideas, whether it be from the Republicans who are supporting me, who were just on stage with me minutes ago, and the business sector, and others who can contribute to the decisions that I make about, for example, my plan for increasing the supply of housing in America and bringing down the cost of housing, addressing the issue of small businesses, which is about working with the private sector to bring more capital and access to capital to our small business leaders, including my plan for a $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers and for small businesses, extending the tax deduction from $5,000 to $50,000.
We've heard a lot about those plans in recent days. Your campaign slogan is a new way forward, and it's time to turn the page. You've been vice president for 3.5 years. So what are you turning the page from?
Well, first of all, turning the page from the last decade in which we've been burdened with the kind of rhetoric coming from Donald Trump that has...
What does that got to do with anything? Turning that was another key moment right there where she could have really made a great impact in her response. He said, "You've been the vice president for 3.5 years. You've been in the administration for 3.5 years. You say you want to turn the page, a new way of doing things, or a new thought pattern, or a new type of something. What are you turning the page from?" This was a great time to win the voters. I'm being critical right now because we need to really be critical on both of these people. But he asked, what was you turning the page from? She said, turning the page from the last decade of rhetoric from Donald. Come on, y'all. That was a bad and a stupid answer. Honestly, that was a real stupid answer. For real. Hold on, my phone is chirping. 1 second. Got to see who this is. That was a stupid answer. So yeah. Let's get back to it, dog.
Has been designed and implemented to divide our country and have Americans literally point fingers at each other. Rhetoric and an approach to leadership that suggests that the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down instead of what we all know. The strength of leadership is based on who you lift up. The strength of an American president, which is one who understands that the vast majority of us have more in common than what separates us.
Madam Vice President, more than 70% of people
that is
tell
about turning the page on rhetoric that people are frankly exhausted of, Brett.
More than 70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
Oh, my God.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about.
Brett, I don't know what she's talking about either. That was terrible. You know what I mean? Look at this is what I'm saying. Everything, you can't point back to this guy for everything, dude. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. That's where she lost a lot of people, y'all. This whole thing, but it's kind of almost sparking up to this main event right here where he just said, no, I don't know what you're talking about. A lot of people in the direction of the country, and people asked as a poll, do we feel like you're going in the right direction or the wrong direction? Majority of the people said, 79% said, no, we don't feel like we're going in the right direction. And the question is, well, your administration is the administration that had us on the wrong direction. What do you say to that? And then she just goes back to Donald Trump. You can't go back to Donald Trump because the man has not been in office for almost 4 years. And that's what I'm saying. People are looking for answers and they're not getting them. They're getting this little runaround, you know what I mean? And she's not winning votes like that. She's losing. And I think the Democratic Party is really, oh man, for real. Far as on the national level, far as the national election, far as, the presidency, I really believe that they, not talking about locally or, statewide. I really think locally, nationally, I'm sorry, that they lost it. They lost it. This is not good.
Track. That track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
But you're
people
the
have
lever of
become.
power.
But listen.
Mike Rogers said he supports all restrictions on abortion.
And certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me, the former chief of staff to the president, Donald Trump.
So at this moment, I'm going to pause it and get a little commentary. Again, like I said, I'm going to just give some backstory. I was at my office cleaning up, and I remember that, again, that the interview was coming on Fox. I thought it was rather brave of her to, to go ahead and take the interview, because we know Fox is just really not a friend of a more or less of a Democratic situation, So you don't take a rocket science to know that. But Brett is a reputable guy. He's tough. You know what I mean? He can be a little a-hole-ish. You know what I mean? I've watched some Brett's interviews. He's tough, but he's fair. And he tried to get his question off based off fact. He's a real journalist, y'all, for real. So I really felt like she was either, I was thinking, how is this interview going to go? Brett can throw some softballs, but Brett can be hard. So I didn't know what type of Brett that we was going to get that gave the interview. So I'm listening to the interview, and I could tell off the bat that Brett was really going to be straightforward with her, because quite honestly, y'all, we haven't gotten real answers. And maybe we haven't, maybe some of you have, but the majority consensus is that there haven't been maybe some real answers that people have been waiting to hear. So I thought it was brave of her to go ahead and take this interview. I really did. And right off the bat, he was coming straight at her. But what I've learned, this is just straight from let's say from a voter that was down the middle, one or the other. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't leaning her way. I'm gonna be straight up with you anyway. I wasn't leaning her way anyways. But I wanted to give, I'm a rational person. I'm a very smart person, intelligent person. And the most important thing is I have a mind of my own. I don't follow crowds. And I don't care more or less if people disagree with me, as long as we can disagree respectfully. But I wanted to give her an opportunity, because honestly, throughout the last month or so, when she got the nomination or she got the go ahead to run, I haven't or didn't hear anything that really suited my fancy for her. And if I did, I would have really said so. I'm not just saying it not to be saying it, just to be playing. So over the last month, she's been doing interviews and going on The View, Charlemagne, everybody's softballing her, for real. Not really getting real hard questions, and a lot of repeating the same thing, but not answering questions as far as my understanding what I would like to hear, or taking responsibility for the last administration. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, in my opinion, this administration, the last 4 years, has been terrible, bad. And you can just look at the numbers. So I'm just telling you, from my point of view, the administration has been bad. One of the biggest problems that I have is, number one, the illegal immigration situation. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? That's terrible. That shouldn't have been. It shouldn't even worked out like that. I don't even know why they allowed that, for people to come in here illegal and go ahead and be able to have food, fast tracking, getting licensed, housing, when the people here really can't or taking the benefits away from people here and giving them to people that shouldn't have them. We're talking from the tune of 20 to 30 million people and more. This all happened in this administration. That had nothing to do with the last administration. Why would you do that? That's I mean, and a lot of people, and I'm gonna tell you another thing that I'm thinking, just y'all, I'm not even thinking of it on a political landscape far as what you think of a DC, Washington, D.C. level or, you know, voting level. I'm thinking of it on the street level too, because you're thinking these people that's coming over here, they bringing their own gangs and their own way of life. They ain't integrating into the system, the American way, whatever American way that is, maybe in Chicago, New York, Dallas, wherever they at. And then you're going to have street justice too, because now they infiltrating on the street level. On the street level, they infiltrating on already what's established there, if you get what I'm saying. So there's going to be problems brewing in that situation, which it already is in New York and Chicago. You know, it's big problems brewing ahead. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of people not even talking about that. It's a big problem. So that's number one. That was the main thing as far as the foreign, the immigration was a big problem. You know, that was one of the biggest, really the biggest issue. And then also the foreign affairs what's been happening, you know, giving all these billions of dollars foreign aid to people where, you know, a lot of that we always give in to different countries. That's part of it. I understand that. But just the way, okay, Ms. Leone, the U.S. has had major immigration problems since absolutely. But Ms. Patterson, respectfully, you know what I'm saying? Not these type of immigration problems. You know, it was open border policy. You know what I'm saying? Basically, open border policy with this administration. We can't get around that, and we have to be truthful and for real about it. Has there always been an immigration problem? Yeah, it has been. But had we had the immigration problem to the tune of just opening the borders and letting people flow in here, of course, we're gonna have the United States is always, as long as it's a superpower, the major superpower, the place where everybody wants to come, it's always gonna people trying to get here illegal. It's always gonna be. I would try to get here if I was somewhere else. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. But in the tune of the last 4 years, the influx of people coming in illegally never been like this, ever. 20 to 30, 40,000 illegals that's getting benefits where we know people around in Pontiac, Detroit, Hamtramck, Inkster, wherever you from, Miami, wherever you from, that's in need of benefits and food stamps getting cut off, but they can't even get it, but the immigrants get, come on. That don't make anybody mad. You know what I'm saying? And then also, that's a big deal. That's a real big deal. So, you know, the price of food and the price of goods, services, gas, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's happy about it. So, but all of this type of stuff has happened up under this administration. That's why I wasn't too happy about it at all. You know, so, you know, that's why I wasn't so happy about looking at her as a viable candidate that somebody I would support. Not saying I'm against the Democratic Party, but I really feel, in my opinion, that, quite honestly, y'all, they chose the wrong person. They messed up and chose the wrong person. And I believe that Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, the power structure of the Democratic Party knows that they chose the wrong person. She's not strong enough to beat this guy, man. She's not. She's not strong enough to beat him. So they get mad at the companies for pricing prices, not the people. No, you can't get mad at the companies because the companies, you can't go above market value like that without being in trouble. The companies, of course, you know, yeah, okay, say I'm selling this good for $5. Next company sell it for $6.50. Okay, there's a fluctuation in the price, but there's a problem with not the fluctuation of you going to price your stuff different. It's a problem with them having no regulations. You know what I'm saying? And them being it. Nah. Dog, it's more than the companies. Ms. D. Wynn say, yes, they can. You can choose to buy. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can choose to buy. Yeah, you can, but you can't really. Come on, man. You know, it's all about supply and demand. I mean, the price of the dollar, the inflation of the dollar is so everything is up. It's not about what I choose to put my price. Okay, that's just like me saying I choose to make my podcast at the pod $200. Yeah, I got the choice to do that, but the inflation of the dollar is so bad right now is that I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like I can push my price up, but at the end of the day, the inflation of the dollar is so bad, I'm really going to be probably making less money by pushing the price up. So people just hiking the price up is not going to make you make more money. You know what I'm saying? You're going to make more money with your product being at market value. No, you can't put a cap on my price. I can charge whatever I want, but what I'm going to be doing is capping myself. You see what I'm saying? Like I can raise my prices to whatever I want to do, but at the same time, by me raising my prices, what I'm going to do, and I can price myself out. You know what I'm saying, of the game. And that's really what happening with inflation. We or the producers more or less have to raise their prices to the point where they almost is pricing themselves out. They trying to even so the profit margin is so inkling small at this point because everything is so high. So if I put up at the pod, if I raise my prices, whatever, I might be pricing myself out. On top of that, yeah, somebody might pay it, one person, but what about if things were at a regular market value, I can make more money. So inflation drives sales for everything. That's why they did. But right, the inflation. So, okay, so they did that because of inflation, but inflation happened because of what? Companies, let me see let's see what Ms. Patterson says. So I'm just going, companies also supported illegal immigrants to reduce operations costs to manufacturers and products and still raise their prices of goods. Right, but that's illegal. You know what I'm saying? So now you're taking jobs away from American citizens. So, hopefully your company, D, or companies that General Motors, they don't hire illegals. They can't. You can only hire an illegal alien if they're up under the table. You don't see General Motors hiring them. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? You can't hire no illegal aliens. Companies are supporting illegal immigrants to reduce operations. Right. Well, now I don't know what companies are really doing that right now. If you can tell me a company that's doing it right now. Because you can't hire, a reputable company can't hire an illegal alien. That's a quick way to lose it all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Joe's lawn mowing service can go ahead and get my man to do it up under the table and pay him a little bit, but you ain't gonna get no real job, you know what I'm saying, as an illegal. So how, this is not good, bro. This is not good. No matter how we cut the slice of the pie, it's not good. Let me see. Why not? You don't know that. Not know what? You know what I'm saying? If you want to call in, you can, D. I put the number up. No, it's illegal. You can't hire illegals, dude. But why would you want illegal aliens here? Illegal immigrants here, why would you want them anyway, dog? Let's be for real. No problem with people being here legally, but why would you want illegal? So all that happened up under this administration, and it's not good. So a lot of people, like I say, Democrat and Republican, feel the same way about that. I'm just echoing the sentiment of the majority of people. It's not a good thing, bro. And that's why it's a big topic. That's why it's a big to do, bro. I ain't made it that way. You ain't made it that way. We ain't the ones that made it happen. But up under this administration, this is what this administration allowed. for the influx. And now there's a huge problem, dog, a huge problem. And what's going to happen? So let's say if, here we go. Hold on one second here. Hopefully you can hear me. Can you hear me, dog? Hold on.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hold on. Let me turn you up, D. All right, go ahead and speak.
Yeah, hey.
Okay. What's going on, bro?
What's going on? When it comes to these so-called legal aliens, that's just talk. I know people, Hispanic people, who are going through the process the proper way. I know a ton of them. And they have went through the proper channels that America has set in place years ago. They're going through the process and they're doing.
No, we're talking about illegal aliens, the ones that came within the last 4 years, which is around 20 to 30, 40,000, 40 million people.
Know that they are legal
because they opened the borders and let them in. D. No, D.
How did they open the border and let them in? Just let them in.
Yeah, D. Yes, D.
Let them in.
Yes, she said that. She said it at D. She said it at the beginning of the interview.
She didn't say
yes,
that.
She did, D.
Do you know that they do voiceovers?
D.
Do you know that they make...
There, dog. Come on, dog. Now, come on, man.
Did she say that she opened up the border?
Dog, the Biden.
Let illegal aliens in. Think about that.
D. D. You not listening to what I'm saying? D. At the beginning of the interview, he asked her a question. He asked her, what happened why did you guys tear up, basically, null and void what was in place as far as the border issue and then open the border situation? She began to answer it, but she never answered it. And then she said, we trying to fix it. So that's that they opened the borders up. Why did
that? Doesn't mean that she opened the borders.
Dog, she was the border czar.
Get through here.
She was the border czar.
Day.
She was the border czar.
They was listen to what I'm saying. When the other guy, DT, was in there, people were coming in here. It's been a long thing.
Not by the.
There's people that speak in.
Okay.
And
I'm
the
listening.
thing about it is they write in something that's not true. This is to make America scared, and that's not true. You gotta, when you say these things, you gotta really do your research on it.
That's the research.
These
D.
things have been happening for years.
D.
Illegal people get in here for years.
All right.
They've been doing this long before.
There.
With Ronald Reagan, people were getting in here.
I don't know if you can really.
That would be like, okay, if that's the case, African Americans are illegal immigrants right now.
D.
We came from somewhere else. Am I correct?
Let's look at this, man. I don't know if you see this. Now, this is an independent fact study, dog. Yes, there's always been illegal people trying to get here to the United States.
Why are we having a conversation about Kamala opened up the gates?
Why? Because you just let.
Why are we saying that?
Why?
A Kamala when that has been happening for decades.
D. I don't know if you can see what's on the screen. This is a chart by Independent USA Facts. Yeah, you always had people coming in illegally. Everybody. Hey, look, if I was illegal, I'd be trying to come over in this mug for real. You know what I'm saying? But since 2020, it triple quadrupled. Now you have because the border had opened. And they let at the tune we got 20 to 30 million. Nobody really know how many illegal immigrants are here, and they getting benefits that U.S. citizens can get. Come on, D. Now you think that's right? And why would she be trying to fix it at this moment if it's broke?
Listen to what I'm saying.
I'm
because
listening.
It's been broke. It's been broke decades.
So why did
ago.
Why did she?
No,
why did
go
she?
back and ask. Go all the way back to Jimmy Carter and all those guys. Go back to all those guys. Go back to Ronald Reagan. Why is it that now all of a sudden some folks came here and we don't even know, did they go through the process?
They didn't.
All of these different things.
They didn't.
Okay, let's get off of that. Let's ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
How is it impacting the American people right now?
It's impacting
if
people.
They coming in here illegally, how is it going to hurt you
if it's,
as a citizen? How is it hurting others?
Okay, I'll answer that. If they coming in legally, no problem. Absolutely no problem. You did things the legal way, just like going to go get a driver's license, bam, 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 legal. No problem. But if you're getting here illegally and you're getting benefits, we got to think economics. About the 20 to 30,
How do
40.
we know that they're receiving benefits
because
if they're here illegally?
It's law. It's legal. They're getting They're getting put up. You're not watching the news where they've been put up in. They getting food vouchers where they sitting in the hotel. Everybody know this, D. Everybody know this. They getting free. They getting cars. They getting food. They get free. They living up in hotels for free. They getting a lot of They getting a lot of benefits that American citizens that's born and raised here can't get. Everybody knows that, D. How is that affecting me? It may not be affecting me as of. It might not be affecting me as this moment, but it may in 2 or 3 years. Yes, they are, kid. They are. Look it up. In New York City, they living right now. And I'll show you right now. Go ahead. Go ahead, D. I'm listening.
Yeah, I disagree with it because they're painting a picture to swing a vote. That's all this is. You got to pay attention to how they paint the story to make everybody fearful. Oh, they got illegal immigrants here. And the other ethnic groups, they're going to do what you did to the black people. They're making up all these things to swing a vote. Yeah, I know this is factual. They are trying to swing a vote, and that's not going to work. It's not going to work. And the thing about it is, do you really think that the United States of America is going to go all out like that to create an issue for its own country?
Yeah.
No. You got to think about that, man. They were coming in here when DT was in office.
D. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know why they. D. I'm gonna let you know why they letting.
The wall ain't built.
D. I'm gonna let you know right now why they letting illegal immigrants in here.
Why?
To replace your vote. You know why, D? Because black people.
Why?
Because listen, you got to listen to this. Because since Obama, black people have stopped or fell away from the Democratic Party. They're no longer getting the big voting block of blacks anymore. Ever since 2008, yes, look it up. It's the numbers, dog. Stephen A. and them was talking about it the other day. People that you like, you know what I'm saying? Like black people are not voting in the set with Democrats no more. They're trying to find a way to be able to replace that voting block, dog. And in a minute, it may not affect. It's not going to affect this election because they can't vote. But if you let these immigrants come in here, she possibly win. More come in here. They get the right to be American citizens. They get voting rights, which they will once they become American citizens. The black vote really ain't going to even matter that much no more. Watch and mark my words if this happened, dog.
Listen, I mark your words that you're going to eat your words.
No, I don't think she's going to win, D. I think she lost it, bro. I think she lost it.
Everybody's painting a picture of Kamala don't have the black male vote. She don't have the black vote. She don't have this or that.
Yeah,
that is what they want you to believe.
But
That's
D,
what they want you to believe.
But
They're
D, it's the
tell
truth.
You that. And all those that are following DT that is of another culture.
D, why would they make up all this? D, why would
ignorant?
D, why is everything so hard to believe when you look at the numbers? Let's say like 2 or 3.
I can make up some data. I can make up data.
But okay, let me ask you this question though. But when maybe a month and a half, when her nomination or when they let her become the nominee, the numbers were correct then that she was up. But now that the numbers are coming out that she's behind, now they're wrong. You know what I'm saying? So you got to pick you got to pick where you want to be at with this fight.
No.
So was the numbers right? Was the numbers right? Were the numbers right when she was?
They wasn't right back then.
So who was winning then? Okay.
Hey, listen. Right now, everybody coming forward showing that they're not supporting DT. People are voting early, overcrowded down here where I'm at, not voting for DT. Nobody's voting for this clown, but a few people. And they're painting this picture that everyone is voting for him. It's only a select few who are fearful. It's only a select few. Listen, when he was in office,
I would like to believe you, but the only reason I can't believe you is because
you're gonna believe me November 5th.
I probably will. But look, the only reason why
believe me November 5th.
Hold on,
you're going to believe
this. What this
November
one lady
5th.
say?
Listen.
This one lady, Kamalaharris says, "Yep, I agree. Democratic Party is trying to secure the votes for the future." That's what she feels like. But this is what I'm saying.
He's entitled to feel that.
Trump.
That is called painting a picture. They do this every day. This Puff Daddy stuff. Let's play example.
So at the end of the day,
distractions.
How is it D? At the end of the day, brother, check this out, man. At the end of the day, I don't believe that Kamala. Number one, I was really trying to see what was going to go on with this Fox interview. I think she damaged herself, dog, with it. She didn't do herself justice by going on there, man, because it poked a lot of holes in what she's trying to do. Like, she didn't answer any questions, D. She showed that she was part of the administration that got us in the hole that we are in right now. D, I was really trying to listen to see if I can get something out of it, dog. That was like cool. You're like, okay, good. I can deal with it, dig it, but I couldn't find anything, dog. And I'm not just saying that because I don't mess with her like that. I'm just really trying to, as a non-biased person, I was trying to find something and I couldn't, bro. And I think the Democrats know that they're on the ropes, man, because why would you go on Fox News? Why would you have? The Democrats are doing a lot of things right now that they normally don't do to try to get a vote. I think they're in trouble, D.
Listen, they're not in trouble.
Okay.
And here's the thing. What is DT telling you as an American that he's going to do? I want you, the lady Cheryl, and everybody else that's voting for him.
Well, I think.
What is he doing for you? Every time he's on the interview, he makes a fool of him.
Well, no.
Right now, he wouldn't even rent him. Exactly.
I didn't hear what she say.
So here's
what she say.
If you were homeless, he wouldn't even rent to you. He wouldn't.
Well, you can't rent to nobody that's homeless. You ain't got no money. If you ain't got no money, neither would Kamala, man. So hold on. See. I think we raised here. Look. Here we forgetting that Kamala is married to a white man. She's not really for black people either, dog.
It don't matter.
She's not for black people, dog. She's not for black people.
Trump is married to a Russian.
Well, they both white though. So I mean, I think Kamala got a lot of people. I think Kamala got a lot of people fooled on this identity politics type of stuff. Or she's a black woman. She's just as much as black as Barack Obama. Nobody, they not like who they say they are, dog. For real, I'm seeing through Kamala, dog, and like a lot of people are, and I really tried to give her a chance.
Donald? You don't see through Donald?
Because, I mean, quite honestly, Donald Trump, if I could just say this, he kind of just tell you who he is, if you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? And I'd rather deal with a person.
What do you like about Donald Trump?
I like his policy as far as the economics and his foreign policy. I told y'all that many times.
What's his policy behind economics?
Well, number one of the things.
Because when he was in office. So you agree with everything
I'm about to tell you.
Putting in place?
I'm about to tell you. I ain't never 100% with that, with anything and everything that somebody says. But what I am, one of the main things that I'm really like about him, that he's progressive when it comes to cryptocurrency. When he's about talking and taking regulations off of that to make people that are into investments, those things will go better. He's about drilling to make to get our own oil reserves. That will actually make us more or less oil independent from foreign oil. That's one thing. Number two, I told you again, with the foreign policy, with the economics, with the not the sanctions, but with the tariffs, which will make it, I think, better overall economically. Number 3 or 4, getting all the illegals around, get them out of here. Because sooner or later, what that's going to do, if the illegal aliens stay here at the tune of 30 to 40 million and growing, if they continue to stay here and get benefits, what's going to happen is it's going to be it's a drain on the economy, dog. So that's going to be another thing, and it's going to be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So
I disagree. You think America
crypto is regulated, Michelle,
that?
Miss Michelle.
No,
I know.
I'm just saying.
Let me respond to Michelle real quick. Michelle, I get what you're saying. There is a United States has some. It's not supposed to be regulated, but there is some regulations with cryptocurrency as the United States. Go ahead, D.
But I'm saying what I'm saying is.
And let me respond to Michelle one more time. No person is illegal. Okay, you go outside and you run naked down the street, you're gonna be illegal. Let's see if you're not illegal. Let's keep going, D.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you look at the other guy, and there's no intelligence there right now, man. I don't see what nobody following him is like getting out of, because he don't talk about anything. He can't even explain to you what he's going to do. He can't even explain it.
But what I'm saying is, D, like, and I get where you coming from.
He start talking about people, so that's what that's going to be. And guess what? Other leaders are going to take over him.
But what I'm saying is, D, is
he's
this.
He's a pawn.
Okay.
He's a pawn.
Okay, no, regardless of how we feel about either candidate, I feel him, you, her, whatever the case may be, they're from the numbers, D, everything can't be a lie. There is some set.
Those are made up numbers, Sante.
So,
who's doing those numbers?
D.
Where those numbers come from? Ask yourself. Where do those
the same,
numbers come from?
They coming from the same place that they were saying when she was leading a month and a half ago.
Even when she was leading, where did those numbers come
D.
from? Who made those numbers?
D. Why do you see that this is such of a highly contested battle right now? Somebody is supporting this man.
They gotta make it like that.
D.
That's what brings ratings.
No, D. No, man.
That's what brings ratings.
It didn't. No,
get
D.
everybody in the uproar.
I'm gonna tell you the truth, man.
No,
man. Like people do not want to accept this, D. But Kamala is at big danger, bro, of losing by a landslide, bro.
I doubt that. Highly doubt it.
Yeah, she's
people. The people.
Do you feel like this interview helped her with people that were on the fence, that people that was like undecided voters? Because
I haven't even seen the interview.
Because
here's the thing.
Well, let me say this, D. And
here's the thing. I don't need to see that interview.
Because, D, you already know who you're going to vote for. I'm talking about people that are independent.
Because I'm not going to follow someone who don't have my interest, who don't care about my community. Number one, don't even have a policy. Two, can't even explain a policy. Number three, allow the country to be attacked by its own and then stand by and talk all that crazy stuff and create violence. Who wants that person to be a leader of the free world? Do you understand how big that is?
So D, let me ask you this, D.
He come down your street and say, "Hey, this guy right here, I want him out of here," and they attack you. What are you going to say then?
That's not, but that's nonsense, dude. What you just saying? That's not going to happen, D.
Power, though.
No, D.
He will have that power.
Okay, well, we'll see. If he become the president, let's see if that happens. I doubt it, though. But at the end, I think that's fear mongering. I think that's fear mongering. I think that's fear mongering within itself. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day,
that's not fear mongering.
At the end of the day, D,
that is reality.
At the end of the day, D, you know who you gonna vote for.
Women, and I'm gonna tell you,
you know who you gonna vote for. I know who I'm gonna vote for. But at the end of the day, D, the people that's on the poll. At the end of the day, everybody know who they gonna vote for at this point. I think the people that's on the fence, as far as the undecided voters, that's who these last couple of weeks of campaigning is for. I don't believe at the end of the day, these last couple of weeks have helped Kamala because.
Did they help DT?
I think she's helping them. I think she's helping them, D.
Do you listen to what DT say when he? Do you even listen to what DT say?
I do.
When he up there,
I do.
Do he give you any information?
He does,
and tell you that he's a great leader.
He gives me information. He gave her more information than I gotten from her.
Oh my God!
Absolutely.
If you believe that, because all he's doing is cracking jokes. That's what he
And
do.
all she doing is not answering questions. And all she doing is not answering questions.
She told you what she's gonna do.
She didn't tell us what she's gonna do.
I bet you this.
What did she? Okay, tell me what she's gonna do, D. You tell me what she's gonna do. You tell me what she's gonna do. I just told you. I just told you 6 things that this man. I just told you.
You gonna be in line.
D. I just told you.
You gonna be in line.
D. I just told you 6 things when you just asked me. Now you tell me 6. You tell me 6. No, you do one better. You tell me 7 things she gonna do. Since you know what she's gonna do. I'm listening. I'm about to be quiet. I'm about to put the mute button on myself.
When it comes to the small businesses, I bet you be in line when she wins. You're not gonna say anything that she's a bad president. You're not gonna say anything.
Tell me 6 to 7 things that she's gonna do. Tell me the 6 to 7 things she's gonna do.
Listen, you already heard them all. You already heard them all.
No, tell me.
You can't tell me.
I just told you. No, you don't. You tell no.
You watched the interview.
No, she didn't tell me nothing.
I'm not going to tell you.
Because you don't know. This is what I'm saying, y'all.
She's going to give women the power to control their own body. Now you're with. You have a daughter, correct? You have a daughter, correct?
Okay, tell me the third thing, D.
You want another man controlling your daughter's body?
Tell me the third thing.
You want another man?
Or the abortion rights,
body.
rights, and the $25,000 loan that she said. Okay. Listen, I don't want a loan. I want a grant. I don't want no loans.
What about the housing? What about the first homeowner?
Okay, what about it? Tell me about what?
The first homeowner. So you're gonna get some money. When you're a first-time buyer, you're going to get some money to get you a good start. What about that?
Okay.
DT never talked about that.
I got reservations about that. What she said.
Tell me what DT going to do to help the people.
I give you reservations about that home ownership because that $50,000 or that surplus that she wants to give, that's going to be just added to the back end of that loan, D. That money has to come from somewhere. You just can't give people that type of money without it coming from somewhere. If the house is $200,000, it's going to be ultimately marked up to $250,000.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question.
No, I'm just asking.
Print the money? Do we print the money?
What they got to do with anything, D?
Is that going to boost the economy?
No, it's not. It's not, D.
It's not?
It's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not, D.
It's going to give jobs.
How?
It's going to give jobs to builders. Builders are going to get jobs because you're going to build more houses. Because more people are going to be more adapt to go buy a house now. So that's going to
what
get
that got
the
to do with
economy
builders?
moving.
What that got to do with builders? I don't think
builders are going to be having jobs to build houses. That's going to give them jobs. That's a great thing.
Let me read what Michelle Time said. Kamala Harris 6 initiatives for presidency. 1, civil rights, passing the Equality Act, the LGXYZ, individuals discrimination, healthcare, extending $35 insulin. Okay, we heard that. Labor, rising the minimum wage to eliminating sub-minimum wage, educating, doubling apprenticeships. Number 5, justice exposes ethics, rules. The Supreme Court Justice 6, economic reform, eliminating taxes. That's okay. Again, Michelle, I mean, I get what you're saying, but no. But number 6, she got that from Donald Trump. He the one that talked about eliminated taxes on tips, and she incorporated it. Come on, man. A lot of this stuff is, come on, dog.
Listen, man.
You can't take this man's policy now. Come on.
He's gonna do the IVF.
Well, let's
IVF.
Okay, let me ask you this, D.
At first he killed it. Now he switched because he saw America swinging.
Well, D, let me ask you this question real quick. What do you feel about the black man?
Game.
What do you think about the black man policy that that she came out with the other day?
Now, which one is that? Because there were several.
She came out with an empowerment plan for black men. And this is after she was.
I know it was mental illness and all these different things.
Well, she said she will deliver for black men, and again, because she's in trouble, D. But she came up with.
Not in trouble, bro.
I'm about to go ahead and share the screen
It's
for
just
you.
that black men came together and went to her with what is needed.
All right.
See, we didn't do that before.
So let me ask you if this is needed. I'm about to pull it up. All right. So it says provide 1 million forgivable loans for up to $20,000 for black entrepreneurs and others who have good ideas.
You will be in line.
No, I'm not coming. I'm not going to be in line for no loan because I could have been got a loan. I don't want those. I don't want a loan. I could have been got a loan. There's plenty of SBA and types of loans around here I can get for $15,000, $20,000, $25,000. I don't want those. I don't want to, you want grants. But for black entrepreneurs and others who have good ideas but don't have the resources, connections, and that ability to business, to get their business off the ground. So this is not just for black men. This is for others. But they say they're going to give up to 1 million forgivable loans. What are the premises for these loans to be forgivable? Number one. Number two, she has launched the National Health Equity Focus on Black Men. Cool. Number three, legalize marijuana at the federal level to break down the unjust barriers to hold black men and others back. Okay, cool. Lower costs by enacting the first ever federal ban to corporate price gouging on food and groceries. That's for every American. They ain't for black men. Lower rent and provide.
That's fine. That's still fine.
But don't say it's for black men when it's not. It's not for black men.
But listen here.
Here's the last one. Here's the last one. Lower rent and provide down payment assistance to triple the number of new first-time black home owners. So lower rent and provide down payment assistance to triple the number of new first-time black homeowners. And I think that went to what you were saying earlier. So I'm
like I
listening.
said, now tell me what DT gonna do for black men.
D, I just
Nope,
gave you
thank you.
I just gave you 6 or 7.
So
You want me to go
all the
back?
black men voted for DT. He has never verbally said he's gonna come out and do one thing for black men.
What?
Not one thing.
And I'm glad you said this, D.
Not one thing.
I am so glad that
What
you
is he
said
gonna
this.
say?
I'm so glad
What
you
is
said
he
that.
gonna do?
Because you just said something that was very important. Magic Johnson was in Flint because Kamala told him to come. And he said that Magic Johnson said, quote unquote, Donald Trump promised black people all of this stuff and he never delivered. So which one is it? Did he promise black people stuff or he didn't? Which one did he do? Did he promise some stuff or he didn't? You're saying one thing, Magic Johnson saying another. So has he promised black people stuff and didn't deliver? Or is he promising black people things? Like what
He
is
ain't
it,
even
dude?
talking black people, and that's where I'm puzzled.
Well, why is black people?
That's where I'm puzzled when it comes to my community.
Well, my thing is,
and I'm
why is
cool.
black
It's
people
supposed to be for everybody?
Why is black
but
people supporting
when it
them,
comes to
though?
my community, I don't know why they support him. Because to me, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's foolish, and to support that when he don't even have you in the equation. At least Kamala is talking about everybody, every ethnic group. She for the people. He ain't even including the people. He's only including one group of people.
So,
and all of these folks is following him. And my thing is this. I don't know what y'all hearing. I don't know what y'all seeing. But y'all not seeing. And see, here's the crazy thing. Y'all will be the
Miss Patterson said Kamala gonna be here tomorrow. Hey, she coming to Detroit. She's trying to rally black men to vote for her. So again, D, if Miss
campaign time. You can get off of that.
D, she's doing it, bro. Like,
Trump
come on.
came to Detroit and said it's a bomb. It looks a mess. He came there and dogged the place, and y'all still following him.
D, what I'm telling you, dog. D.
He disrespected your community.
D. I don't live in Detroit, dog.
But you southeastern Detroit.
Hey, I don't live. I'm not a Detroiter. You see my hat, Pontiac. I'm not from Detroit.
Part of it.
So check this out, D.
You're part of Metro Detroit.
Check this out, D.
You are a part of it.
Check it out, D. Check it out.
He dissed the auto industry.
At the end of the day, bro. At the end of the day, the Democratic Party itself.
Oh man.
No, let's just for real. Even at the end of the day, the Democratic itself is losing its foothold.
I disagree.
With black, it's in the numbers, D. Since 2008, bro.
Man.
Bro,
I'm in the South right
I don't
now.
care.
I'm in the
the
South
South
right
is a small part
now.
of the country. But D, the South is only 1/4 of the country, dog. It's not
I know
the
that,
other
but
third.
I'm looking at the news.
There's black people everywhere, dog.
People run into the polls and they interviewing people, They're not I was a born Republican. I am not supporting this guy. He didn't take it away the rights of women. That's right there is enough to exclude him from this race. You ain't God. You can't be God on earth.
Key facts.
And tell people that you're gonna tell them what to do with their body. Only God can do that.
Key facts, dog.
Why y'all?
Hey, dog. Look, numbers don't lie. We can say whatever we want to, like with God or whatever, dog. Numbers don't lie. And the fact the fact of the matter is, black people are leaving the Democratic Party, dog. That's not
true.
It is, bro.
It don't matter. I mean, I'm gonna say this.
Why? I mean, but why do you think that? Why do you think that?
But they're not gonna vote for DT. They're not gonna do it. They're not going to vote for DT. They might not be staying with the Democratic Party, but they're not going to vote DT. You got to look at what DT has done and doing to everybody. Now, he's going to come, if he were, and I ain't going to even speak that into existence, he's not going to be in office. No way, no how. It is not going to happen.
Well,
DT is not going to get in there. It's going to be a landslide. And you're going to be looking at that thing.
At the end of the day,
you're not going to answer the phone.
Oh, I'm going to be on that night. I'm going to be on that night.
You're not going to get on.
I'm going to be on that night. We going to be on that night.
I would advise you not to.
I'm going to be on that night.
You're going to get lit up.
No, hey, D, check this out. So I don't believe a president can actually get elected without the black male vote. Like, the black male vote is really the X factor in this election in some ways, not the full way. I mean, but the black male vote is a very significant part of whoever wins this. I think we can both agree. We both can agree with that. We both can agree with that, right?
Let me help you with this. Let me help you with this. Throughout this whole election, they've been running in barbershops. Trump played a trick on the black barbershop. He went in the barbershop, had a meeting. He was playing like he was going in there to just like talk to them or whatever. And then they fact checked it. And then they had those guys come back and say, no, that wasn't the case. We're not saying that we supported Donald Trump. He came in here to talk. And that doesn't mean we supporting him. They're not supporting him. This is what the world is telling everybody.
All right.
These are not the facts, bro.
All right.
This is not the facts. It's some that probably is voting for him.
All
but
right.
I'm gonna tell you, the majority is voting the other way, even though they are Republican.
Okay, D.
Because
D.
Hispanic community not voting with him. His old
No.
Actually,
the Hispanic. Actually, he has the majority of the Hispanic vote. D. I mean, D. I hear what you're saying, but it's not supported by the numbers. D.
Did you see the interview that he did at the?
I'm not talking interviews. I'm talking the numbers.
Those are not the numbers. Those are made up numbers.
So
how do they know what you're going to vote if you didn't write it down on a piece of paper?
D, they going.
How do you know you're going to? How do you know?
D,
they're going off a hearsay, right?
So D, no, they're going by almost. D, let me tell you. Okay, this is from the 2024 Times, New York Times. 2006, the Democrats had 92% estimated of the black vote. In 2020. 90% estimated of the vote. The 2024, the exit polling or the polling so far is they have 78%, which is a 12-point drop. Anything below 80%, man, the Democratic Party is in danger. So we have a trend of it going down. Like so let's just think about this situation. If Kamala win or whoever win, in the next 4 years, it's going to be less. It's going to be less in 4 years. So I think what's happening, honestly, even with this immigration thing, bro, honestly, I'm just from sincerity and thinking from how I'm thinking how things going to go. I really think they're thinking about replacing our voice, bro. And this is why a lot of the illegals are here, to replace our vote, our voice. I'm being quite honest with you, dog. And I'm not making jokes or anything like that, because I would hate to see a bunch of illegal immigrants come into this country, illegal, from all over the world, not just Southern, but all over the world, and then get.
We ain't gotta worry about voting no more. So what
No. You might. Honestly, the way things going, because if you get the opportunity for illegal immigration or immigrants to keep coming in here at influx at the level that they are, then your vote might not hold as much weight as it used to, because the Democrats depended on the black vote in order to win elections. Now they see that the train is going down, D. I'm listening.
Let's see this. Let's say this. If that guy gets in, just like you heard, you won't vote ever again.
That's crazy.
How about
Come
that?
on now.
He said it. You won't even have to worry about it. If I win, you don't have to worry about voting, Democrat or Republican, whatever, because he's going to turn it into a dictatorship. Guess what? You won't have a right. The women won't have a right, and the black male that's following him, that the media is stating that is, which numbers and data can be created. Somebody can start making up stuff to get the attention of the people, and that's what happened. These polls and all this, how you know how I'm going to vote if I don't tell you or mark it on a piece of paper? It's data. These numbers are made up. Now, I bet you if you go through multiple sites and look at the different polls, they all are going to be different.
Yeah, they will. But
because data can be misconstrued. It can be changed. It can be tampered with. That's just the game to paint a story. Gotta wake up, brother. You gotta wake up.
Hey, bro. I think I've been awake longer than a lot of people. I've been awake longer than. It's real funny. A lot of stuff that
you can't be. Listen,
yeah, dog. I think
everybody that's paying attention to
I think she's on the ropes, D. She's on the ropes. I think she's about to. She got herself in a bind, D.
That's what
the Democrats,
a lot of people want.
The Democrats don't even want her, dog.
It's a woman winning, man.
D.
It's okay with a woman winning.
She's not gonna win, though.
It's okay with a woman running a free country. It's okay.
It's okay for
a woman to be a CEO.
It is.
It's okay.
Yeah, it is okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. It is all right.
That's all. The ones that's
it's
not
okay.
Voting for
It's okay, but that's not why black men ain't voting for her. No, they're not voting. Black people are not voting for her. Black people are not voting for her because she doesn't have a good policy. She doesn't know how to answer a question. She doesn't have good leadership skills. The Democrats should have put a better candidate in front of the Democrats because she's not good at all. They really should have gotten the Michigan governor, honestly, because Michigan governor was way better than her. Like they should have got maybe.
She'll be next.
But they should have put her now. They should have put her now because she's a way better politician.
Anybody's better than
but Whitmer was better and it was a terrible choice. Terrible choice. Terrible choice, dog.
Anytime you tell people to run up and hurt the governing body,
choice.
You're not about the right thing.
Terrible choice. Choice.
So you cool with him telling the people to run up in the Capitol?
I didn't hear him say that.
You cool with the people running up in the capital of Michigan, right? You cool with that? Threatening Gretch and everybody else.
D, where are you going with this? Nobody's saying that. Nobody. What I'm saying, D, is that
his theme,
D, what I'm saying is this. At the end of the day,
you're voting for that party.
At the end of the day, D. At the end of the day, no, I'm voting for I'm voting for somebody I believe that the policies fit more in line with what I want. She doesn't have a policy at all.
What policy do he got?
D, I just told you everything.
Every interview.
But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I really believe that Kamala is she was a bad choice for the Democratic Party, dog. Like they should have really had a better.
That's your opinion.
She would have had a better chance.
November 5th.
Oh man, it's gonna be crazy that night.
Few hours, this first few hours and it's a massive blowout,
oh my God,
you're gonna want to turn the TV off.
Let's
and
put some.
Say,
Hey, let's
I
put a
bet
friendly.
not go online.
Let's put a friendly wager.
You better not
a
go
friendly
online,
wager.
because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna be your worst critic on you for all the things.
Say all times.
Everything you said. Now I'm gonna give you the blues on this, and I'm gonna tell every person that ran behind someone that's not for everybody. He's not for everybody. He told you when he was in office he was gonna build that wall in 4 years. In a year.
Miss Patterson,
that wall never went up.
Miss Patterson said, "How many people on this call? If Harris wins, Sante should pay for all of us to go on a vacation." And,
that's right, Miss Patterson.
And the individual choice, everybody should have a choice on where they could take one guest. Hey,
Kamala wins, you're gonna put on a Kamalaharris shirt.
All right, I do that. If Trump win, what would you do? Put on a MAGA hat?
I can't even put that hat on.
Well,
dog.
come on, dog. Let's have a friendly wager then.
I had to give you $20.
Nah.
I can't put that hat on.
No.
I can't put that hat on.
Okay. Put it like this. You'll come on with the Trump backdrop on then. Well, how you gonna have me put on a Kamala shirt?
No, I'm just saying that. I ain't know you gonna take the bet.
Oh, I'm definitely taking the bet.
But I'm telling you,
I'm definitely taking. No, I'm not. If you confident,
I'm saying this right now
if you confident, take the bet, dog. If you confident, take the bet.
I'm saying this right now in front of the people. In the first 2 hours, the numbers are going to be so high for Kamala that Donald is not going to get on the phone and call and say congratulations. He's going to go and retire and play golf, and everybody's going to turn their TV off because they're going to say he can't come back. It's going to be overwhelming numbers for Kamala. I'm telling you right now, man, people are not going for that. You voting for women's rights to be taken away. That's what you're voting for. They did that in the years ago. They did that years ago, and for men to know that is happening to our women, it's crazy to vote for this guy, man.
Well, I tell you this,
and
bro.
then the next thing, after you take the women's rights, guess who's coming next? You ain't gonna have no rights.
Oh man,
to a lot of things. You ain't gonna have a lot of rights.
We'll see, D. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Look, at the end of the day, I hear what you're saying.
People not doing.
We only got
people not doing the racist thing anymore, dog.
We only got how many
people
days?
Not doing that.
How many days
people
we got left?
Not doing that racist thing anymore, man.
Hey, bro,
people not supporting that stuff no more, man.
Hey, man, that
stuff is old, is dying off, and
it is dying off. I mean,
keep it around. People not doing that.
D, I don't think you're gonna be right with this one, man. But I think we're gonna agree to disagree respectfully. You know what I mean? But may your candidate, the one that you really feel need to win. But I don't think they will. I really think that, honestly, all jokes aside, for real, I don't think she did herself a favor by going on Fox. I would have told her not to do that, honestly, because I kind of knew how that was gonna go. You know what I'm saying? It didn't paint her in a good light for those that was already on the fence. Like a person like me or you kind of already know who we going for. But
let me tell you. Look,
but I think at the end of the day, she did more hurt to herself going on there.
I disagree. Let me tell you this.
She went on there and then messed up.
BT has been on every outlet in the world and has made a darn fool of himself. Come on, man.
On what?
Come on.
Where
man.
did he go?
He hasn't had a good rally or interview yet.
Wow.
He gets on there, sound like a spoiled baby, crying and whining, blaming everybody else for his fault. Straight narcissist. He blames everybody. He's not responsible for anything. Everything that he broke, he blames on somebody else. Everybody that worked for him left him. Everybody that was around him, it got probation right now because of him.
Okay.
Come on, man.
So
you
what
telling me
did
you're gonna support this guy for the free world?
what did this administration really do for you this time? Like you asked me all these things. What did this administration in the last 3.5 years do for you?
Man, they've been helping people. They've been helping people.
For you.
This administration with the COVID and everything. Right now, the economy goes up and down. Businesses are selling things at a high price. The companies that sell goods and services are raising their prices.
Why?
That's just what they do.
Why? But
That's
they
can.
They can, but raising
You
the
can
price.
raise your price.
Yeah, but like I told
you're gonna raise your price.
Yeah, you have to raise your price because of the inflation of the dollar. You have to raise it. It ain't because of it's not because you because you raise your price don't mean just because you raise your price doesn't mean
more than that.
No, just
It's
because you're
more than
raising your
that.
price doesn't mean you're making more money.
But what I'm saying is
Because if I raise my price, okay,
in
yeah, my
all,
groceries
the
cost more, so am I making more money? Am I making more money? Am I making more money because I raised my price? I can raise my price $50, but if no, you're not, because you're spending more too. So if I'm making more money, the profit margin is
necessarily true.
It is true. If I'm charging 20% more on my price, but prices are up 25% more or 21% more, I'm not making more money. Yeah, I'm physically making more money, but I'm paying out more money, so the profit margin, there's none. So that's what's happening with the dollar. That's what's happening with the economy. Yeah, people are making more money. Yeah, you probably making the good money, quote unquote, on paper.
Out of COVID, people jacked up prices, man. And Donald lied all about the whole COVID situation. He shut down all the
that's simple economics, D.
That was battling the COVID, and we lost a lot of people.
Y'all, I think you're blaming people. How are you blaming him for stuff that he wasn't even there? He wasn't there.
Listen, President Obama.
That's the same thing that Kamala's doing. She's blaming him. You're doing the same thing she do. I understand it now.
But it's
you're doing the same thing that she's doing.
Fact.
You're blaming him for stuff that he wasn't even a part of for the last 4 years. That's what this is why people don't want to deal with her. This is why she's losing support of the black people, because she's blaming him for stuff that he wasn't even a part of.
No.
Yeah, D.
You're gonna eat your words on November 5th.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now, he had every station has fact-checked everything he has said, even the one that supports him.
What about her?
He lied.
What about her?
He lied. They didn't have lies on her.
So she hasn't lied not once?
No.
Oh my God.
No,
she haven't lied one time, D. Okay.
What did she lie about?
That she wasn't a part of opening the borders.
She didn't open.
Then she came out.
Open up the borders. People been speaking in here for decades ago.
No, D. D. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to look at the fact of the matter.
You can't put.
Because
she didn't open the borders.
Yes, she did. D. She was She was ahead of the borders.
Do you understand? If a president flat out opens up the
D,
borders,
don't you know that's what they did?
Flack it would be.
That's what they did, D.
This is a lie.
No, it's not a lie, D.
Yeah.
D.
It's a lie. It's a lie. She cannot do that, man.
They didn't do it.
The process.
They didn't do it.
To come over here.
D, you don't know what you're talking about, D.
The national anthem.
D, you don't know what you're talking about. They not. D.
They learning everything else.
D, I'm gonna cut this up.
Look.
I'm gonna cut this up in a segment when they edit it and show.
Read your comments. Read your comment.
You said people. Hold on.
He can't open a border. Trump said he's going to build a wall. If opening up the border is because
I wish somebody would. Somebody would, fact check D, because D, she said it at the beginning of the interview that they opened them up. D,
I opened the borders and let them in and let everybody run in so we can get the Democratic vote back. Is that what she said? Think about that. Think about that statement you're saying. I opened the borders and let everybody in so we can keep the Democratic vote. Think about it. Donald Trump said, I'm going to build a wall. It's going to cost us $1 billion, billions and billions and billions of dollars. Do you have a wall? you don't have a wall. He walked along the wall, looked at the wall, and got his behind in the car and left.
All right,
People
the open.
are
Okay,
dumping
D.
and sneaking
Okay,
over
D.
here.
Okay, D. I'm just reading. I'm
You
just
gotta
D.
understand
I'm reading.
that. When
D.
they
I'm
tell you
reading.
stuff,
D. You
when
don't
they
like
tell
to.
you
D. You
stuff,
don't like.
you
D.
gotta
I'm not. These
ask.
are not my words. These are words. These are actual. The open border policies implemented by the Biden administration have incrementally nearly 9,000,003 illegal immigrants that arrived in the south border. That allow 6 billion more immigrants.
You know who
Come
I
on,
want you
D.
to get on the show? You
D.
know who I want you?
Who?
I want you to bring Carl Rogers on the show too.
Yeah, we
would
need
love to
him.
hear, because I want you to send him a message and tell him to get on the show, because I love to hear his ideas, because he's a big supporter too of DP.
It's not about supporting him. Look, Biden.
I'm just curious to why y'all support him. I'm saying I don't. No one has told me why they support him. I don't understand. His whole team has quit that worked with him.
No, he fired him. He fired him, D. He fired like 200
people. Why
people.
did he fire him?
I would fire some people too.
Because nobody's want to go.
No, because those were incumbent. Those were
incumbent.
Those were incumbent people when he came into office. He fired them, and some of them did leave that he brought in with him.
When he was in office, why all those guys on probation right now? Why
I don't
all
know.
those
I don't know.
went to
I don't
jail?
know about that, D. But
see, that's
but
what
D,
I'm saying. But
maybe
you
can school. Maybe you can school me on that. But what I'm saying is, D, is that Kamala Harris, well, Joe Biden administration, Kamala, which was a big part of it, and she said that she was a part of every big decision that the president made. So we can no longer say that the vice president doesn't have power. She said, and he said that she was a part of every major decision that he made. So that being said, when they first couple of days, listen, D, when they first couple of days within the White House, they opened the border, and it's law. All you gotta do is pull it up. But that's what they did, D. It's fact. I'm not making this up, D.
I don't believe that.
D. So how is all these people getting here illegal? Okay. It's okay. I guess I'll pull it up for you then. Let me pull it up for you before you get off.
So listen. You mean to tell me that you, with all of those officers down there and everything,
if it's a law, D, it is what it is.
Listen. Do you really think those guys wouldn't be doing interviews from the day they opened it to now? That, hey, President Biden and Vice President Kamala opened this gate up and we couldn't do nothing about it. They would have quit and started doing interviews, making millions of dollars, saying that they opened that gate up. They didn't open that gate, man. That's what DP wants you to believe.
They didn't open it. So D, so how is they get? D, just think about what you're saying. How did all these people get here then, D? How can you explain all the people that's here?
They're going through the process.
And they all citizens. And they all citizens.
They're citizens, yeah.
So you're saying that they're not illegal immigrants. That's what you're saying.
They're not illegal if they go through the process.
Did they go through the process?
Yes.
They went through the process. This is what you're saying, D.
They went through the process. That's what they want you to believe, that
oh
they
my
did
God,
go through
D.
a process.
D. Okay. So I mean, if I show you,
the media is going to paint a story.
So D, if I show you the document from the bill that allowed them to come in 2020, you're gonna keep to that and say that's fake, right?
Who was the president in 2020?
You tell me.
Who was coming out of office?
No, who was the president, dude? Like you said, who was the president?
Biden was, but who was coming out of office?
It was a bill that they made that.
Who was coming out of office?
The bill that was there. The bill that was there, or the law that was in place, is that immigration, they can't come over here. He had it set where they can't come. They made it where D. I'm gonna play you the beginning of this at the very beginning of what she told you, D, at the beginning of this interview. Why can't you take her words for it? You think I'm lying?
Listen,
she the one that said it.
Let me say this to you.
So why is you disputing your candidate's words?
Listen.
Why are you disputing that, D?
President Obama left office.
Oh my God! You're going back to Obama. You're going back to Obama.
I'm gonna take you back. So we can show you the picture. Let me show you the picture so you can understand. When President Obama was in office, what did he leave Donald Trump with?
I don't know what he left him with.
Clean books, clean.
I don't know.
All
I don't think
cleaned up, right?
I don't know.
Right?
I don't think so, D.
He left him with a good economy. Am I correct? After 8 years, he left him with a good economy. All right? Yes, right. You ain't gonna agree with it.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't 100% agree with that. I don't 100% agree
when
with that.
Donald got in there, what did he leave Biden with? Can you tell us what he left Biden with?
If the pandemic was going on, D.
I don't give a damn if it was whatever it was.
But at the end of the day,
what
D,
did he leave Biden? A bunch of dead bodies for COVID because he took down all the resources out of China, out of all those labs. He fired and took away all the resources, and everybody in America got sick. So what else did he do for us? He left us with a bunch of debt. He's crying and whining because he wasn't successful. Everything this man has put his hands on, he has destroyed. Anytime you own a casino and you bankrupt, what is wrong with you? How you gonna balance a country?
Michelle, hold on, AD, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, AD, Michelle. Now you a little bit out of line right here when saying I back a rapist. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So be a little bit respectful. Because I don't want to go in on you. You know what I'm saying? I got some respect for you. I don't know you, but just be chill. All right? Be chill. Go ahead, D.
But you know what though? Let's just keep it real and no offense. But we're people that back him are backing everything that he does. You're telling me
But D, at the same day, I mean, at the same thing, no, at the same, no, who said D? No, D, I can say a whole bunch of things about Kamala. I can say, you know what? I can start spewing a whole bunch of things about Kamala, Kamala people. Listen, I can say, oh, she's up there pretending to be black. She's up there acting like she actually is a black person.
I wouldn't care if she
I can say that she doesn't. I can say. Well, see, now you don't care. See, but now you don't care. So at the same time, what I'm saying is this. She can, and we can say a whole bunch of things about whoever the candidate is. But what I'm saying at the end of the day is that who policies, why are people back, why is such a contentious race, and why at the end of the day, she's on the verge of actually losing. Why is at the end of the day.
You know what? You know why they going this far? We're down to the fourth quarter of the election. So they're going to be doing all kinds of things. She's all over the road right now. She's all over the place. Now,
what do you feel? What do you feel?
Everything that he has done.
What do you feel like since you support her? What do you feel that she could do? Probably, like I say, at the the last couple of weeks now. Like she's been on everywhere now.
She can balance the books, man. She can help the economy right now.
I mean, in the last couple of weeks, that she can't do that in a couple of weeks. What do you feel like she needs to do?
Well, in a couple of weeks, what can she do right now? Continue to go around and spread her message and keep her message fresh in front of the people so they understand what she's going in office to do and what she's planning to do for all peoples. She didn't say up there cracking jokes on people and talking about people, calling people retarded. She's not up there doing stuff like that. But the other guy, what can he do? What can he do? He's right now getting ready for sentencing when it's all said and done. He got a felony. Why are we even voting for this? Why he even on the ballot? First and foremost. But he can run through here and grope women. He can disrespect, have the people run up in the Capitol. He can do all of that. He's done it.
Even at the you know what, D, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, D, even though you said all of those things and how bad they may sound, if they true or not, at the end of the day, people are siding to vote for him, or he looks like he may be winning, dude. And like I say,
I disagree.
At the end of the day, that's what it seems like. You know what I mean? Like I don't, and like I said, at the end of the day, I really tried to sit and listen to her. I really did. The last couple of weeks, I have had my antennas up, and I really have been listening to her. and I've really been trying to find and see if there's anything that I could relate and feel like, whatever. But I feel like, honestly, man, for real, I really feel like she's losing support of her own party. Like her own party does. It feels like her own party is losing. It feels like her own party is. It sounds like her own party is losing confidence in her. And that's what it looks like.
That's what the media is painting a picture to say, so that you could continue to have some rhetoric to talk about. That's not true.
Okay.
That's not true. The black men are not saying, like they saying, black men are voting for Donald Trump. That's more rhetoric to make everybody like, what's going on with the black males?
Why did that become an issue? Because Obama. Okay.
He put what President Obama did, I think, was a good thing. He was reminding black males, don't forget.
Forget what?
Don't forget.
Don't forget what?
Don't forget, number one, as black males, this person is around you, being around your stuff, came from beginnance like you did.
No, she didn't. She didn't, D. She grew up in an Indian household, D. She did not grow up like us, D.
Whatever.
Nah, D.
HBCUs. She participated with
that.
us.
Don't mean nothing,
so
D. As you know, because you're part of a fraternity, and people in sorority. A lot of your sorority or fraternity, it can be inclusive. Don't mean that you kind of grew up like. You can just
let me tell you something, man.
I mean, of course, she went to Howard. She went to Howard, so
She went to Howard.
Okay.
She went to Howard.
Okay.
What it is?
You're not going to discriminate against her because she's Indian, or you have white members in your
The reason I'm voting for her is because she's about all people. Her policies are going to impact all the people.
It will.
You're
right about that.
It
will. Man. It really will.
I'm not dealing with him because he don't do for all people. He showed us that when he was in office.
Okay.
I don't know why you forgot with the swastikas and all of that. Y'all are following some rhetoric, man.
Okay.
That's crazy. I don't understand those who come from our community following
you have to
creating divide.
No, there's already a divide. No, there's already a divide. The divide is that black people feel. No, the divide is black people. The divide is that people think that black people should think the same, and we don't. And then when we don't think the same, then people feel like that there is a problem with black people. But at the end of the day.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right now.
We all have our different ways of thinking, and go ahead, D.
We all do, but there is a problem when black people start following and promoting and supporting racist rhetoric.
Yeah, you will, Ms. Patterson.
Problem.
Well, I don't think rhetoric is the problem. I think policy is the problem, and I think that at the end of the day, D. We can argue all day. Us arguing ain't gonna matter. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm looking at what the numbers say.
November 5th, you're not gonna be nowhere to be found.
Bro, I'm gonna be on here. I'm gonna be on here, and
you're not gonna get on there.
Oh,
and
definitely,
you're not
man.
Be ready to take what's gonna come to you.
Y'all, okay? I'm gonna be on. D, I'm gonna be on. I promise. Well, you
better be ready to take it.
I am, man. I am. It's gonna be a long night. It might be short. It might be a short night. It might be a short night. It might be a short night, bro.
It's over in 2 hours.
You think so? You might be right, D. It might be.
Kamala is going to be winning.
You might be right.
In the first 2 hours, that everybody's going to say, we went through all of Donald Trump noise, and then
D. Number one. He's going to win. He's going to win Georgia. Let's look at the states. Oh my God, D, he's gonna win Georgia, dog. They
already out here.
Georgia has been a Republican battleground state that they win all the time.
Don't matter.
D.
It's gonna turn blue.
No,
it's gonna turn blue November 5th.
Okay, D.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Don't even include Georgia. Georgia is already at the polls, and I'm going tomorrow.
D, you forget Atlanta, and Atlanta, and look, that's almost like. you know, look, Atlanta is the metro. Atlanta is the area, the hub. But there's a lot of places. There's a lot of places outside of Atlanta that's in Georgia, bro. So you got to think, you know, Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta as a whole going to go to Atlanta as a whole is going to go Democratic. We know that. But you thinking, dog, Atlanta, Georgia is a big place, dude. It's a big place, D.
You got to understand, black women. Listen, black women, Hispanic women, Asian women, white women want control of their bodies. I'm sorry, brother, but you're getting ready to see.
You think he gonna win Georgia, bro?
Getting beat by, yes. These women want control of their bodies. You got to think the LBGQ, whatever those acronyms are, they want their control of what they do. They want to do what they do. Here's the thing: you can't tell people what to do with their bodies if you didn't create them. And there's only one person.
But we just going down to the numbers, dude, because you got to get 270. You got to get to you got to get to 200. Look, at the end of the day, D, it's a numbers game. You got to get to 270 electoral votes. So each state holds. You know what I mean? Do you think that
if those people don't?
So do you think that? Do you think that Georgia is actually going to go blue this year?
Yes.
Okay.
Without a doubt. They just saw this guy flip-flop. He dogged the governor out and then came back over here, talked about the governor and his wife, then came back and showed face. And the reason that the governor here, to me, I believe he allowed him to sit in the same room with him is because he's a Republican. But the majority of the folks here are turning blue. A majority of the folks here want control of their bodies. The women do. They already know if he wins, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for a whole lot of things that people want to have control of, man. And it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. It's going to be an issue for the American people. People don't know what policy's been given to Putin. People don't know what's been given to North Korea. People don't know what's been given to China. And here's the thing. Anytime you can turn your back on America and go against the people that want America destroyed, you got a problem. It's so much stuff he done did that's so wrong against this country. How could we or those that's following him continue to follow that? You want to dig yourself a grave? Go ahead and vote for it. Go ahead and vote for it. Go ahead and allow the young ladies that's coming up that may be having problems with their bodies and they may need certain types of treatment to help them have children when they get married. That's gone. That's gone. You're taking God out of the whole equation. That's going to be gone. And we can't allow that to happen. Because at the end of the day, it's God. So if you running for office and you don't have the people in mind, God gonna deal with you. Let's just go there. And all he's been talking is divide the country, hate. They did this, touching women inappropriately, doing wrong things, making blacks and whites fight. All of these things. Let the police kill them. Stop and frisk them. George Floyd got murdered on live TV. He made jokes about it.
What'd he say?
In our face.
What'd he say?
In our face.
I didn't hear him say anything. What did he say, D?
No, just saying, like,
who made jokes? I mean,
and get the police to get out there and do something about it. He didn't say.
I mean, no. See,
but put this guy away.
But D, I mean, you said he just made jokes about it. I mean, what did you?
He didn't make no positive. He didn't make no calmness to the whole situation. There's so many things that this guy has been going through this country doing to the people, not just black people, white people, Jewish people, Hispanic people, Asian people. He don't care.
D.
It's his agenda.
You talking about George Floyd, man. George Floyd, hold on. George Floyd died in May 25th, 2024. Like that, he wasn't the president then?
But listen to what I'm saying.
No, you can't say that. No. How you talking about George Floyd? And George Floyd was the...
Google what he...
No, he wasn't the president then, though. Who was the president?
It don't matter.
It do matter. You brought it up. No, you brought it up. You brought it up. It matters.
But listen to what I'm saying.
No, but you said that he was the, you can't say stuff like that.
What did he say?
You tell me. You tell me what he said.
Google what he said. I want you to Google what he said.
Why does it matter? He's not the president. What you said?
It don't matter if he's the president. He's the past president.
What did he say then?
He wants to love America.
What did he say?
If he cared about black people, why did he make the comment that he made?
What did he say?
That's what I'm saying. So
what did he say? You didn't tell me yet.
Listen, man.
I'm about to look it up.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Right, you ain't told me yet, D. Go ahead. Go ahead, D.
I'm gonna go to bed. I want you to Google it, and then the next time you come on, you tell me what he said. You tell me what he said about the Proud Boys. You tell me what he said.
Well, no. What did Joe Biden say or do about George Floyd?
And
what did he do?
What did he say?
Yeah, you asking me. I mean, he was the president.
He was out there with the people. He was out there with
the people. Joe Biden was?
He was out there for the black people.
Joe Biden was?
Because the black people was tearing Minnesota up.
And Joe Biden.
He did get out there and say this was wrong. Now, he wasn't the president. Like yeah, right, D. What you said ain't made no sense. What did he say when they was running in the Capitol? What did he say when they was running in the Capitol? When people got killed going up in the Capitol? What did he say?
How many people got killed?
Those people are fine.
How many people got killed?
It was. I think it was one lady. There's a couple people got killed. Got shot by the police because they was beating up the police and everything. What did he say? What did he do as a leader?
Did it
matter?
He told the people don't go up in there. I mean, they went up in there.
Man, hey, listen. All I'm gonna say is this:
Six people died, and they were shot by the Capitol Police.
You listen. What you got to understand is this: at the end of the day, you're right. You have a vote, and you have the right to vote for anybody you want. But your godly spirit is telling you the right way. Now, you can choose to go whichever way you want. But I'm going to tell you, when you look at both candidates and look at what both of them have done, if you start from the beginning of their life all the way up into this moment right now, ask yourself which one is righteous and which one is not. Which one is for the people? Which one is not?
Yeah, Kamala a fraud.
Which one has?
She's a fraud. Unfortunately,
okay.
man, she's a fraud, and
unfortunately,
she gonna be losing, man. I mean, I don't know. She can go back to California after this, bro.
Donald Trump. Unfortunately, Donald Trump is a rapist.
Oh.
He can touch any girl walking by.
Still in office, he would have.
He can touch anybody he want to. He can tell. He can do whatever he want to do. So you telling me he's a felon right now? He's waiting for sentencing.
So he got convicted for being He got convicted for being a rapist.
Listen, it's a part of his. It's a part of his trial. All these things, cheated on the voting, paying people to do all these things. Him and Giuliani. So. You're saying you support that.
You're saying rape. That's a great allegation to put on somebody. Like, same thing with Mike Tyson, the same thing with Tupac Shakur. Like, that's a big allegation to call somebody a rapist if you like them or not.
Let me ask
you know what I'm saying?
Question. Is it true or is it not that he inappropriately touched the lady?
I don't believe it to be true.
Yeah,
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Is it true that he's...
That's like saying that. Do I know that Mike Tyson did what he did to Desiree Washington? I don't know that to be true. Even though he got convicted, do you believe that Mike Tyson actually raped Desiree Washington? Do you think Tupac?
I don't.
Do you think Tupac sexually assaulted?
How did they become guilty?
What'd you say? They found Tupac guilty of sexual misconduct, some of forcibly
But
touching.
listen to what I'm saying. Is DT? Can you go apply for a job with a felony?
Hey, that's the law before he came, dog. You can't get mad at that's what it was before he even.
On that note.
What can you say?
On that note.
White people made the law in the first place, so you can't get mad because he going by what the law is already at. You can't say anything about that.
Support that law.
Hey, that's the law. It's been like that, D. It's been like that. He didn't make that law. That law been like that for before me and you was born. Obviously,
you support
that
law?
probably was part of the founding fathers' laws. You got to respect them like you respect the founding fathers of your organization. So, I mean, can you say even if you don't like it, you still got to go by it, right? That's what the law was and is, and that's what it is.
Listen, here's the thing. At the end of the day,
do you like every law that your founding fathers had for your organization?
What for my organization?
Yeah. Do you like every? So that's part of the founding fathers.
Every law.
But okay, so that's part of the founding. So that's part of the founding fathers.
They make no laws.
This is part of the look, but this is part of the founding fathers' rules or laws that they made in the very beginning that you can run and have a felony. He didn't just make that up. So how you gonna ask me? Do I support that? That's part of the law, D. Or he wouldn't be able to do it.
You support.
Hey,
this is how I feel. This is me. Knowing that DT really don't care about my community.
So Michelle, you say believe. Michelle, you say believe a woman just because a woman say anything. I don't believe everything a woman say just because she say it.
No,
believe woman. No, that's BS. BS.
At his mouth.
Just because I don't care who you are. You could be a woman, a
people,
man. Just because you say something don't mean I believe you. I'm sorry, we didn't even talk about the candidate.
Let me say this.
No, we will talk about it, Michelle, when you come back from it. I think Michelle's going to Georgia. Yeah. D, go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Let me say this, man. DT, those who support DT, you support everything that go along with DT. So whatever go along with DT, and I'm going to say this and then I got to go. Everything DT did, said, and done, policies and all, those who support him believe in everything he says. So with that, I won't have another discussion about it.
Why?
If you support that,
why?
We know you like that.
Why? You know me, D, so you can't say I'm like that.
If you like,
you can't say that. This is the problem with black people. We scared to talk. We scared to talk about politics, and when we don't agree, then we run. Go ahead, go to sleep, D.
No. I didn't talk politics enough.
Go to sleep.
Because here's the thing. I know that what you support is what you support. And I don't support that because it's not for everybody.
Right.
And what he is and what he has displayed and what he has shown the world about his character, I feel sorry for the guy. I feel sorry that people was trying to assassinate him, which was wrong. But at the same time, all those things he say and do, I do not support. It's not helping me. It is not fair. My people have dealt with it for over 450 years, 450 plus years. And this guy is saying that. So all these black supposedly fake news or wannabe guys that's supporting him, go ahead and support that rhetoric. But the minute you impacted by it, don't come around our community and think you can come back and be like, oh, it's all good. Yeah, I voted for Trump. It's all good. It ain't good.
No,
it ain't good. It ain't right.
Right.
We know who you are, and we know what you.
No, Michelle, I can't.
That's the same thing.
Michelle, and I'm with you. If a woman is being sexually abused, absolutely, you need to believe them, follow up, and find out if it's true. But just because somebody says that they've been sexually violent doesn't mean you have to find that out because. We living in a day of time.
Why did he pay
D. I'm not even talking about. Hold on, D. I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I don't even care about that. But what I'm saying, just as a brother out here on the street, I'm not trying to turn the corner off the political. I'm just talking as a brother in the street. Just because somebody claims that something has happened, you just can't go off the cusp and believe people. Just because that is not, I mean, the world that we live in today, people can say and do anything about it. There has to be, you know, that maybe have to be a discussion, a topic too, because I mean, sexual abuse, we gotta believe women protect women and all that type of stuff. But I'm just talking about brothers in the street, you dating or any, you know, women are to be protected, loved, and all that type of stuff. But just because somebody says that you did something to them does not mean that you did something to them. So that needs to be no. I'm not talking. Hold on, I'm not D. I'm not even talking about. I'm not even talking about Donald Trump. So I just because
that's in some cases.
That's just in some cases.
But in this particular case,
but I ain't talking. But I ain't talking. But they
anybody that's sexually assaulted, they do tests.
D. I get that. Well, what I'm saying,
it's called a rape kit.
D. I understand that. Well, what I'm saying is just because somebody says certain things, don't mean that automatically that's what it is, D. That's what I'm saying is like,
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a real slippery slope. I'm not saying, because there are some people, women that be lying. You know what I mean? This got nothing to do with political type of stuff, because I have sons, you have nephews, and we know people that have had bright futures that have gotten ruined. This had nothing to do with political, but I take that real serious because that needs to be a topic of discussion in our community and around, because a lot of young men find themselves in bad situations because somebody chose to lie about something. Now, I'm not saying that that's in all cases, but we got to protect women, but we also got to protect men too. You understand? So
that's true too.
I don't miss up my words with that. Like if a woman is abused because I got a daughter and I don't want that to happen, and I'll be mortified and really ready to do something, but just because somebody says something, somebody could say I did something to him tomorrow, and then what? You know, it could have been consensual and just the person mad at me because I don't call them. So it'd be crazy like that. So it can happen. So you just can't throw a broad statement out there. We just believe in people, because we live in a real dangerous world right now where people, you know. So that's I just had to get that off, and that's from real talk. But go ahead, D. I'm listening to what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at the news. You got all these people voting for Kamala already. You got all these people all lining up, running to the polls early to vote. I'm telling you, it's over in the first 2 hours. Mark my words.
Well,
in the first 2 hours,
we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. But D, I don't want you
about the black males voting.
But you know what, D?
Night.
But you know what, D? I'm like, I had fun with you tonight, man. I'm glad that you called, dog. And even though, like I say, we have fun, we jab, we yell and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just. So this is why I'm doing it, man. Like some people be like crazy, but I plan to. We only got 2 weeks left, man, and I think it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be.
I would advise.
It's gonna be interesting.
I'm gonna tell you, interesting. Right? Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But I'm gonna tell you, after the first 2 hours, don't you get on here.
No, I'm gonna come on.
Don't you get on here?
I'm gonna come on, man. Super
Tuesday.
Don't
get on here.
Super Tuesday
I'm
show.
gonna tell you right now.
I'm gonna come on.
Don't get on here.
We coming on, man.
You're gonna say, "Oh man, I can't get on there."
I'm coming, dog. I'm coming on, man. Because I think it's important. Honestly, D, it's important. Either which way it go, it's important that Pontiac WYAC, which you're a part of, I think it's important that we come on for the people. Because it's gonna be hot that night. And I think it's gonna be important that we come on as a unit, as you know what I mean, on both, because we really gonna be having a voice for the people around. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's gonna be important. I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But like I said, man, it's like you got to pay attention to when they say these polls.
Yeah,
they can't get that data because no one has wrote anything down. That's speculation.
Right.
This is how they weigh in, and they're talking to different people. Yeah, I'm gonna vote for Trump, but they're going to vote for Kamala. I'm going to vote for Kamala, but they're going to vote for Trump. They playing a game.
Yeah.
It's a game to get us all consumed. Oh my God. Come on, this is all made up, man. This is a story. What we got to do is sit back and be like, okay, November 5th, I'm going here, mark on the paper, and put it in the box.
Did you do mail in? Did you do mail in, or are you going out?
I'm not doing mail in. I'm going out. I'll be out tomorrow.
Do you think mail in? What do you think about the? Oh, you can vote. You can go vote early down there.
Yeah.
At your what's name? Okay, I thought it was okay.
I can vote early.
Okay.
So, which I'm going to take advantage of and vote early.
Well, hey, look, hey,
and I get to walk into my booth and vote and put my paper in there. And I'm going to be looking around for Giovanni, Trump homeboy, might be trying to mess with the stuff.
Hey, maybe, hey, but you know what?
I'm gonna stop them jokers.
But hey, so you gonna be an election official. You gonna have your crossing guard jacket on.
I'm be looking for Giovanni trying to mess with the machines.
Right. You gonna have D gonna have his crossing guard jacket on up there with the stop sign, helping people go vote. But hey, man, but at the end of the day, you remember when I didn't vote. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad to be a part of the political process this year. Also, people, make sure which is just as much as important as the presidential debate or election. It's important to go ahead and support your local judges and charter members, people that's running for things, your clerks and all that type of stuff. Is very important to do that. So. I didn't vote down ballot on everything. You know what I'm saying? I just, I picked on who I felt was a lot of people I didn't know, but I tried to find out a little bit about them. But it's just as important to get these local people that that will represent you too. So I'm just actually glad to be a part of the process this year because honestly, I never really was excited to vote besides the time in 2008. And I haven't voted since 2008, which when Obama first term. So, yeah.
Well, when it's all said and done, you're gonna go in the booth and vote Kamala.
Who?
Harrison Waltz. You are.
Oh, I already sent. No, I sent in my ballot today. Yesterday. I did an absentee ballot.
Yeah, and I bet it. We won't never know, but I bet it says Harrison Waltz.
It don't. You want me to send you a picture of it? I got it.
Send me a picture of it. Yeah.
Oh, you want to? Hey,
don't send me no picture.
Because you're gonna post it. I don't care. But yeah. Anyway, I did. I went on to send my absentee ballot because I didn't want to just be caught up in the rat race. So I did that. But yeah, thanks, D, man. I know we're gonna call it a quits, man, and have a good night, bro. And I'll probably be on in a couple of days. But also, bro, this Monday coming up, we do got Tony Rowe coming, and we have another preacher from Pontiac, and I reached out to another pastor. Hopefully he'll get back with me. Hopefully he do. But other than that, man, yeah, hopefully Monday you can pop on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, then, D.
All right.
All right, y'all. So we done spent a good 2 hours or 30 minutes. You know what I mean? We kind of reevaluate. Hey, look, at the end of the day, y'all might be like, "You crazy," blah 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 blah. But honestly, it's all good and fun to me. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff on the table. Either way you kind of vote or either way you kind of go for it is the way you go for it. You got your reason. Everybody got their reasons for who they support. Like I say, it's important. Like I didn't think it was an important thing to vote because, honestly, man, when I was growing up and I felt like a lot of ways like my father felt and a lot of black men felt like, man, what am I voting for? Because nothing's gonna change and blah blah blah. This I had that mentality a little bit younger, but now that I get older and I'm paying a little bit more attention to things, not a little bit, a lot of more attention to things, especially with me having adult children at this point in time. You start to think about things that's affecting them, not much as myself anymore. So, I found it important for me to go ahead and this cycle, go ahead and vote and be a part of the process. And we all are not going to agree. That's what makes us all special. Even though me and D got different fundamental, me and D have fundamental differences about this. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, we're the same and thinking a lot the same in majority of other ways. You know what I'm saying? It's just that we kind of have a stark contrast on this. You know what I'm saying? But that's a lot with a lot of other people too. So don't mean that we can't be cool, you know what I'm saying, just because political outlooks may be different, but that's what makes us all unique. And I'm just looking at it, and the same thing that I did with Kamala today, I'm going to be doing with the Trump, one of his interviews. I just looking at it from my perspective, my point of view is that I really tried to find something to grab onto with her. I couldn't really find something, in my opinion. You may have, but ultimately I really feel like she damaged herself with this round of interviews and things. You know what I'm saying? But we will see, because it's the 17th or the 18th in a couple of more hours, or another hour is the 18th, and it's winding on down. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, be a part of the process if you like. If you don't want to, that's fine too. And I get it, because I wasn't a part for a long time. But I felt like it was, if I'm getting on here talking about it, I think, it was only right that I did what I practiced, what I preached, I guess, more or less. So regardless on what you do and how you do it, if you say counting tomorrow is 19 days. So, 19 days. So regardless on how you do it, or when, absentee ballot or going in or voting early or however you do it, if you feel like it's important to you to do it. You know what I'm saying? But all I'm going to say at the end of the day, even if I argue D down and he argue me down, it doesn't, at the end of the day, that shouldn't deter you for who you want to support. Okay? Let nobody make you feel, I'm not going to just because you may want to vote for candidate X, I'm not going to make you feel dumb or silly for doing so. Because I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion. I respect you as a person to respect what you want to do and how your choice. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of times people say, the freedom of choice, or with women rights and all. Well, you have a right to vote for and support who you want. And us as black people or white people or women or whatever you want to consider yourself as, have the right to vote for who you want to and not feel scrutinized behind it or feel like I just don't live with a fear of somebody looking at me funny, because, I choose to have my own mind. God is still going to provide. I'm still going to be okay if we disagree, because, that's just what I believe. So always follow your heart, do what you feel is right for you, and don't be afraid to do the things that you want to do, because if you're afraid to do any of the things that you want to do, you'll let people talk you out of anything that you want to do. Because if I listen to people, like I said, I wouldn't really even be doing what I'm doing right now as a living, because it was kind of a lofty idea and to be able to do what I'm doing. So I thank God so much for me to be able to do what I'm doing and be able to, make some type of profit and take care of myself without begging nobody. You know what I'm saying? So listen to your heart, listen to your gut, and what makes sense to you. That's what you do at the end of the day. So I just encourage you just to do your thing. Ms. Patterson, thanks for popping in. D, thank you. Ms. Patterson, Tony Rowe, which is a preacher, is going to be popping on. Also, there's another pastor, I believe, that Amy reached out to. I reached out to a pastor or two, and maybe, but we're going to just talk about the faith in the community. I'm pretty sure, like, why is there so many churches in the community? Like, it's just going to be an interesting topic, conversation with, it's going to be interesting with the preachers. Because there's a couple of things that I do want to ask, like, straight up, what side of the fence do you stand on? Because there's some core issues in the Bible, you know what I mean? And I'm a believer in God, the Most High, you know what I mean? I believe in the book. I believe in the book and what the book says. So there's some fundamental questions I do want to ask preachers, and where do they stand and how they lead within the community. Just from my, no opinion, but what thus says the Bible and what thus says the Lord, and where they stand in their leadership ways and how they feel that, their leadership benefits the city of Pontiac and other things, you know what I mean? Whatever else the crew has to contribute and say about that. But Pontiac WYAC, like I say, man, it's just a place at the end of the day where, number one, I do this because I have fun doing it. And the only way I can have fun is being me, saying how I want to do what I ain't hurting nobody. So I want to just have fun. Number one, hone my craft. So I come on here and practice what I'm doing because I do it for other people. But I like to go ahead and speak my mind when I do speak, which I don't speak a whole lot. I'm a very quiet guy. But when I get on here, I can, kick it. And then also I also like doing it because I give other people opportunity. Even if we disagree, even if we disagree. I love hearing other people, and I love the disagreement, because maybe out of disagreement you can learn something. Out of most disagreements you learn something. And if you're listening, and that's one thing, I don't talk a lot when I'm off of here. You know, I'm a very quiet person, so I do have a tendency to listen to people, and even if I don't agree with their whole 90% or 98%, I could take 2% and get something out of it. My dad used to say, my daddy told me a long time ago, he didn't give me a whole bunch of advice. He really wasn't an advice type of guy, you know what I'm saying? But he said, good listeners learn. He said, good listeners learn. He said that was one of the things he said. And then he told me waiting on waiting. So if you wait on something, it ain't gonna never happen. You just got to go do it. But good listeners learn. And so that's what I try to do the best of. Let me see here what you just say. Just learn off one. They got the property on Gulf Drive. Okay. So Miss Patterson, hey, one day, Miss Patterson, you don't have to come on. Thank you for, coming on, and, I'm glad you ain't too hard on me. You know what I'm saying? But because I respect you a whole bunch. Michelle Times, thanks for popping on. I can see Michelle Times has a lot of fire behind her. So, she's running for a school district and she wants to come on, but she's got some things that she needs to do. And maybe when she comes available, hopefully in the next couple of days of next week, she can come on. We can talk about her run for, she can talk about her run for the school district. Thank you, Miss T.D. Luke, for popping on and giving me tidbits of information. For those that watched and didn't want to say nothing, thank you for watching. Thank you for everybody that's on LinkedIn, YouTube, and thank those on Facebook right now. We also going to be incorporating Twitter, because Twitter is a big thing. But here's the thing. Like, people don't understand, like, to go live to all these platforms at once, you have to pay for it. This ain't free. You know what I'm saying? So, because I go to all the platforms at one time. Sometime 4, sometime I can go to 6 or 7, but that's not free. So, in order to go live on Twitter, which I'm going to do, because I want to expand it and bring more people in, I'm going to another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start a conference line. So I just want you guys to know what's going to be coming up, and it's going to be incorporated with Pontiac WYAC. I'm going to open up a conference line. That's going to be something that I have to actually probably pay for too, but a conference line so I can have more than one phone call at once. Again, people are going to be able to come on virtually at once, but we can, I just wanted to be a community at the end of the day. Even if we disagree, it's all good. It's no problem. No problem. Sometimes we're afraid to disagree as people. We don't have to be afraid. We don't have to be afraid of each other and disagree. We could disagree. It's all good. And, that's what make it interesting. And like I said, at the end of the day, you might get something out of the disagreement. We got to be better listeners though. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I can become a better listener too. I ain't all the way there, but if you give it to me, I'm gonna give it back too. So be looking forward to me bringing on the conference line. Be looking forward to me bringing Twitter into the equation soon, and be looking for me to bring it to make it a little bit bigger. So this is why I created At Random. I have the regular show, which I created a couple of months ago, the Pontiac WYAC, and that's where I have all I have James Gay, Amy, D come on virtually, sometimes Coco Motor and whatever, as a group, as a unit. But I wanted to come on throughout the week, when I get a chance. So this week, this week has been a little bit. Let me get a drink of water. Hold on. This week has been one of those slower weeks for me, which is well needed. So I've been able to come twice. I think we did Monday and then today, and I'll probably do another one come Saturday. Depends on what Saturday bring. Or, but yeah, so it's just going to be a lot of stuff coming, and hopefully just depends, and also Pontiac WYSC is contingent on my schedule also. So we coming at Monday nights now. Tuesdays were my nights that were coming, but my daughter, which is a Detroit Pistons dancer, those are her practice nights, so kind of got to be available for, take her in and out of practice. So that kind of moves that around. And also, like I said, if I have clientele on these certain nights, Pontiac WYSC won't have to be moved around accordingly to my schedule, how that works. So, but with that being said, y'all, I want to bid y'all a good night. I hope y'all got something out of today, and we're going to be continuously having fun. I had fun with y'all. I feel good about it. And with that being said, I am out. Y'all have a good one, y'all.